All right, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Um, let me. Yeah, here we go. Oh, you know your boy's live right now. What's up, people? I know. Hey, I know there's an ad hoc, as you can see in the background. We'll let the room come out. I'm gonna tweet this out. Here we go. Uh, wasn't planning to do a podcast because I'm on the road. I'm not sure how the internet is. We'll see how it is. What happened here? Um, yeah, here we go. This can be funny. Uh, here we go. Um, let's see. Let's see who's up in here. And God damn, the room filled up already. Hey yo. Hey, so let's see. Is the sound off? Because I'm trying to fix this. Remember, hey, this is a whole different situation here. I'm not even using my normal headset. Um, I'm not even using my normal headset. As you can see, this is like my work headset. This is like my work headset. Um, this is what I use. So, and I'm also using my laptop camera. But hey, it's good now. Hey, hey yo, Craig, the Discord is open. So hey, anybody, hey, this is open forum today. Oh, we doing open forum today. All right. This is open forum today. All right. If you want to jump on, you want to voice your concern, let's pretend this is like Twitter space. All right. We're gonna pretend this is Twitter space. Okay. We're gonna have everybody voice their concerns. All right. Hey, Nintendo Nation. Come on. We try to warn y'all. But hey, y'all don't like Phil right now? Y'all got things to get. You gotta say it with your chest. You gotta say it with your chest. Come on through, bro. Hit me up in the DM. I'll send you the invite. Grab that mic. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. This is open forum today. You know what I'm saying? This is open forum today. Any of y'all, voice your concerns. Talk your shit. Talk your trash. Your shit. Woo! Today is a doozy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Phil Spencer out here like, listen, I don't know a goddamn thing, but what I can do is swipe that credit card. I don't know shit about games. I don't know shit about consoles, but I can buy some shit. Oh man, bro, my man, they have no knowledge on nothing. They have no knowledge on nothing. All they know is I can buy that. That's it. It's not a gaming company. What the fuck is that? Yo, he like AAA. I don't know what that is. What? The game runs on 30 frames? Sure. Oh, we promised them 60. Can we get them 60? No, tools in here. I don't know. Can I buy it? Can I buy tools? No. I don't know, dog. All I could do is buy some shit. 52 CUs. I'll buy that. Yo. Oh my God. Oh shit, we got Craig up here. What's going on, Craig?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing today?
Yo, what's going
Uh,
on?
man,
Chilling, man. Hey, so
you got it.
I'm pretty,
I'm trying
I'm
to.
pretty sure you heard the news.
Yeah, I mean, I got home and I'm catching up. I'm a podcast here about an hour about it.
All right.
This just if it's true, if this is true, this is crazy. If Phil Spencer is telling, if anybody is telling people to buy stock to try to curry favor with the board to sit Nintendo, that could literally, if it's true, they maybe do like some kind of investigation. If it's true,
Oh,
I mean,
oh man,
so
listen. This is all true. This is all leaked. This is all emails. This is stuff that we were
yeah,
supposed to see.
yeah,
All
but
of it. Yo,
I'm gonna hold off until there's major
listen,
confirmation.
listen. I'm gonna run. No. He's already in damage control. He already sent out a
Oh,
tweet.
know that? Yeah, I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah,
Okay.
this is. Let me tell you what Phil Spencer. This is Phil Spencer's official statement.
Uh huh.
We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It's hard to see how teams work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. The real plans.
Yeah.
So none of that was real. Even though you were talking about in those plans acquiring Activision and you acquired Activision.
Yeah. That's true.
But
Yeah.
but that's
Like I
but that
said, it's a
wasn't your
bad
real
look.
plans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that
Yeah.
was his real plans. The emails talked about potential of acquiring ZeniMax, Activision, Warner Brothers, Nintendo. He actually got ZeniMax.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yo, but yeah, what's going on, brother? But hey, I know I was hesitant on doing this because as you can see in the background, I'm not at home. I'm in the hotel,
Yeah.
so I'm on the hotel Wi-Fi. But I did the
Yeah.
speed test. I'm like, okay, this might do something. I can't do none of the fancy dual screens or whatever. So it's just
Uh
gonna be
huh.
us talk and stuff like that. But this leak, man, over the last couple of days, this the stuff that's been happening explains so much with
Yeah.
Xbox. It
Yeah. It does.
it literally opened it literally created the answers that we really needed, right? Let's
Hmm.
start with um let's see, hotel Wi-Fi, raise your voice this many octaves. Is it loud? Am I loud?
Well, to me, you are. It
Le-
does, however, sound like you have numb tongue.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is that better? Is this better? Testing, testing. How about
Hmm.
now? Is it better? Hello?
Hmm. Oh
Can
yeah.
you hear me?
Sound. Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you.
Oh, now did it improve? Like, is it better now? Is it more reasonable?
Oh well, no, it wasn't the sound. It's I don't know. It could be your headset. It just
Oh,
sounds like you have what we would call numb tongue in the medical field.
oh, no, but some people saying it sounds too loud. They say now you can't hear me. It's lower now. Oh man, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna just blast it. I'm just gonna blast it. That's it. You know, if it's too loud, numb tongue. I don't even know what the hell that is. But if it's too loud, just lower the volume. I don't even know what that is. All right, I'm just blasting it right now. You're gonna get all the decibels. You're getting all the decibels. All right, all the decibels. And plus, I'm on a damn work headset. You know, this ain't really. This is meant for like Teams meeting and shit. You know, you getting all the
Yeah.
decibels. But listen, man, let's start with even before the leak, right? We just found out, right, that um the actual split between Xbox Series X and Series S was a 75% to 25% split. 75% um 75% of Xbox Series console sales is the Series S. Now I knew the advantage, the weight, whatever was on the side of Series S. I knew more Series S was selling more than the Series X, primarily because it's
Yeah.
a cheaper product and stuff like that, right? So I kind of knew that. But I was thinking maybe, at best 60-40. Maybe. I was thinking,
Mhm.
something, yeah, to me, that was significantly being ahead. 60-40 split, to me, that's significant. 60-40 to
Yeah.
me is a lot, right? When 60% of your console Series S, that's a pretty huge factor. So I figured that. But the reality is it was 75%. That is insane, bro. That shit's insane. Like,
Yeah.
like,
But that was expected, but I didn't expect
like,
that big of a
not
split.
that much. Not that because when you think about it, right? At the Xbox IDC in Brazil, they actually revealed how many series console they sold, and they try to combine it with Xbox One. Maybe that's important in Brazil, right? Maybe Xbox One is still a big deal down there, right? But it was 21 million, right? If you do the math, right? If you do the math for consoles, right? Like 21 million, right? 21 million consoles, you know, times 75, right?
Uh-huh.
That's 15.7 million Xbox Series S out there, right? Now, if let's say you
Yeah.
did that with 25%, right?
Mhm.
25%, right? That's 5.2 million. That means there's about 5.2 million Xbox Series X out there. That's not a lot, bro. To put this in
Yeah.
perspective, Vita failed and it sold 11 million. So that should
Yeah.
that should be, 5 million is not a lot, especially 3 years into the gen. That's not a lot at all. Now, granted, majority of the console sells the Series S, but I can understand why Microsoft was holding the line on parity.
Yeah.
Because if you break parity, you're screwing over the majority of your fan base that's playing the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Like, you
70%.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
75% of your fan base, they're the ones getting screwed over. Like, who cares about
Yeah.
the 5 million? It's about the 15 million who's playing your game.
Mhm.
Because if you make a decision, all the people saying, oh, just take it away. Who cares about Series S? From Microsoft's perspective, their fan base is the Series S. Like, if I was Phil, I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I'd rather get rid of you Series X gamers than the Series S. Series S is the ones that's actually keeping us relevant, right?
Yeah.
Now I understand when they said that they're not interested in a mid-gen refresh. If you can't even sell the Series X based on its power, what is a Series X 2.0 going to do? Who's going to buy it? You can't even get the one that you have now. You're going to create another more powerful console for what? You you probably can't even get you probably can't even get all 5 million gamers who bought the Series X to buy the mid-gen refresh. I would say maybe half will bother.
Yeah, yeah, they're hardcore probably will. So that was the most interesting thing to me was and shout out to J Dub, he was talking about this how their next Xbox again based on these leaks and things could change of course, but the specs could change, but this thing is much more cloud based, closer to cloud than anything else. But yeah, I was going to talk
Well,
about
no,
that a little later on.
yeah, no, we can
However,
talk right now. It's called Project Brooklyn, which annoys the
yeah.
hell out of me. Like, why were you associate Mike Burrow to this crash?
I
The,
mean,
the,
could
the
they just
dis-
use Project
no,
Manhattan in?
we're gonna talk about the disrespect. That's not how we roll in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh, it
The
could have been Project
disrespect.
Queens.
Should have called it
Yeah.
Project Hoboken.
Or Project Harlem.
You know what I'm saying? This is some crazy shit, Project Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, Project Brooklyn is pretty much the PS5 all digital.
Yeah,
Hey, yo,
that's what it
Heartache,
looks like.
if you want to come through and talk your shit, yo, this is open mic. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. We can talk your shit. But Xbox, these motherfuckers getting this work.
Yes, it's
This is what,
crazy.
yo, on the real. You know what I'm saying? Project Brooklyn, you out your damn mind, Phil. Don't you ever say any bro from New York City ever again. You better mind your goddamn business, bro. What are you talking about? But anyway,
On
it's
the second note,
literally the all
yeah, go ahead.
digital PlayStation 5. Like, what is you talking? How is that a mid-gen refresh? Like, what is you talking about? That's the shit people were saying he should have done from the get-go.
At launch, yeah. Yeah, I never well, I understood it. I mean, even Jim Ryan, I think, said something to the effect of they thought about doing something like what Microsoft was doing, but they decided, like, yeah, look, early in the process not to go that way. But I wanted to ask your opinion about your threat about going in on Insomniac Games if they didn't have different game modes. Looks
Oh
like
no,
it's
they listen,
they
listen, they
got the
listen.
message, didn't they?
They got the message. They didn't want the smoke. They didn't
Yeah.
want it. They didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want it. They didn't want it. They be like, yo, this P Rock dude, yo, he ain't lying. We're gonna let him be. We're gonna let him do what he do, bro, because they didn't want the smoke. Same, but guess what? But you know what though? That's what you got to do if you want. And I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't my thing. They were gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
I
I
only
know.
had
I
a
know.
li-
It was funny.
I only had a little fear that they weren't gonna do it, just a little bit, just a tiny, like a 2% fear. But for the most part, of course they were gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Of course they were gonna do that. That's who they already set a standard, and they're gonna keep that standard. I firmly believe that Sony has a standard, right, where
Mhm.
they're gonna make sure um all their games has performance options in some form or another, at least from a
Yeah,
first party perspective. I
yeah,
firmly believe they're
yeah.
gonna do that. I firmly believe, you know, that's the way forward for them, you know.
Mhm.
So so Insomniac coming with all these options, it's status quo. I think all first party developers, unless the game already runs natively at 60 frames, that's probably the only time they're not gonna have a performance option unless they're going for like the 120, right? If the game natively runs 60 frames by default, you
Uh-huh.
know, I could then see what's the point. But other than that, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me do something here.
Mhm.
Where we at? Where
Yeah,
we
but
at?
But getting back to the leaks, yeah, I'm still catching up on it. Like I didn't get home at like 4:45, and it was all in my inbox and stuff like that. So I'm going over it now. To me, the biggest thing was the if they don't get enough Game Pass subscribers by mid 2027 or something like that, or 26, that they gonna get out. They gonna say go kick rocks. We out of here. So
So yeah, I
um,
saw that too. In fact, let me see. Oh, this is interesting, right? And things change obviously, but
yeah,
let's see what we got here. Because I saw that graph. So they showed a graph. Wish I could show it to you guys, but this is not my normal setup. But I'll read it. It says FTC lawyer James Wayne Garten put the following internal Xbox Game Pass slide in front of Spencer, asking him whether he agreed with the projections that showed the subscription service surpassing 100 million users between FY29 and FY30, largely due to an increase in the PC and cloud market. So this is graph, and they're trying to show subscription rates. But Spencer said in no uncertain terms that Microsoft could exit the gaming business if this projection became reality. Microsoft needs the light green and the blue segment. So the light green, it says PC first gamers, and the blue segment cloud first gamers. Right, so those are the two segments. To get much larger and much faster by fiscal year 2027, or it could opt out of the business altogether. I do not believe that is what the future Xbox business will look like. This is a presentation from our device organization to the gaming leadership team. So this is the view from the team that is charted with building our hardware on what the future business will look like. I can fairly safely say that if we do not make more progress than this off console, we would exit the gaming business. If this were the outcome, we would. I don't believe we'd still be in the business. Mm,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, who knows when this was said? I mean, obviously this could change. Maybe it's a little bit of fluff because I think this was during the FTC, so Microsoft could be bullshitting. They could be playing, faint. You know what I'm saying? Wounded, wounded possum. Like, please help me. We need Activision. We're gonna go out of business. That could be a likely
yeah,
scenario and shit like that, right? And stuff like
yeah,
that. But I did say though, you know, beyond that when it comes to the business model Game Pass, they are going to constantly adjust their business model. They
yeah,
showed emails of they show emails of of the people at work addressing Phil with their concerns of creating games, but yet they are injected into this new uncertain environment with Game Pass. And that's the reality and stuff like that. Game Pass is a new thing. It is not an industry standard, right? And you can't even say at this point that the system is a guarantee to work because even the people who originally started, which is the movie industry and the music industry, even they are having trouble um maintaining this model, right? That's why
Yeah.
they're constantly raising prices very often. Um, they redesigning their tiers. Now a lot of them are adopting the basic tier has to include ads. What do you think it
Yeah.
includes ads for? Includes ads for to make revenue, right?
Yeah.
So
To
like
make revenue.
before Netflix, yeah, before Netflix had a basic tier, which is was just 1080p, right?
Uh-huh.
Now they don't have that tier no more. I mean, they still have the basic tier with 1080p, but it includes ads. Before they didn't have that. Now they inserted ads to make up for that revenue and stuff like that. So these companies are having trouble. Disney Plus is not profitable. At one point, Disney was thinking about selling it off.
Mm-hmm.
The CEO was
Yeah.
talking about that. It's just not. So Microsoft, I think, in their desperation, because again, their ass kicked. I think Phil Spencer jumped into this game subscription, and um, can't see why. You know, he honestly thought he was gonna do something. There's an email. In fact, let me read that one. Let me get into reading that one. And I'll read it so that way everybody can see it. He sent it to his boss, Satya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the email he sent to Satya, right? From Phil Spencer. This was on Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. So this was either the day or the day after the PS5 reveal. And the subject called Sony PS5 reveal. And he said, this is Phil Spencer. Even as I type this, I know I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. We've all lived with 7 years of starting off a generation with a price and performance and messaging disadvantage to PS4 with Xbox One. I have to admit this morning, when I woke up knowing the PS5 review was today, that the stress level was higher than normal. Now, after almost 12 hours of soaking in their unveil, taking apart their specs, and looking at the community responses, I just wanted to say that I'm proud of our team. We have a better product than Sony does, not just on hardware, but equally important on the software platform and services on top of the hardware. We have the ingredients of a winning plan. I felt the feedback from the BOD discussion on being too confident, and maybe this will just reinforce that perception. I get the need to be humbly confident, but today was a good day for us. We haven't won anything, and I know we have hard discussion about pricing and P&L investments, etc.
Yeah.
This mail isn't trying to scoop any of that. Those discussions really matter. But we can take confidence in our product too here, and I do believe any conversations needs to start with believing in that. This was a good day for Xbox. Thanks for indulging me. And then Satya replied, "This is really great to hear, Phil. Neither of us have announced pricing, right? Thanks." The audacity of this dude. Yo, the delusion. This dude is delusional. Yo, now listen. Now I see why these cats, these cats out here were so delusional on this bullshit. Now I it's like, yo, this makes all types of sense. Shout out to SNK. He says future Xbox will be a pseudo stadia to sell Game Pass. Who knows what the hell that console is gonna be, right? But the audacity, yo, the nerve of Phil Spencer after the reveal, he thought he had it all. Like, bro, he knew at that point he was launching his console with no games. They launched with no goddamn game. They had pretty much no games for like 2 years. What did he have better? What was better? Like, yo, this is wild. The audacity of this nonsense, right? And there's another email. There's another that's leaking around of Microsoft email, and I'm trying to find that one where apparently it was Microsoft that actually did the math. 30% GPU performance advantage. All that shit that we heard, Colt Eastwood, Dealer Gaming, all that bullshit, that shit came from Microsoft.
Yeah.
And then
Well, I
these
just
concubines ran with it.
yeah, I just don't. It just sounds like it literally sounds like that because they believe they had better specs on paper that they were going to get better results with the outcomes, and it just didn't. They talked about the games. What game?
You know what though?
It's,
I now I get it, bro. Now I
yeah,
get when gamers or when rest in peace, Optimus Code. When he
Yeah.
started saying stuff,
Hmm.
they all like chastised him or chastised us
Yeah.
because their information came from Microsoft. So in their mind, these are the guys that built the console. These are the guys that
Hmm.
does the spec. So clearly, Microsoft knows better than an Optimus Code or Porter Rock or anybody on the internet. Now I get why there was the pushback. These dudes took Microsoft's word at face value. At no point did none of these shills said to themselves, "Hold on, let's use a
Hmm.
little critical analysis. God in Microsoft, you have a lot of paper power, but we need to see real world results."
Yeah, I
And they
always
didn't
said
do
that.
that.
I
They
always,
just
yeah,
they
yeah,
just doubled down and they just jumped in the pool without checking the
yeah.
water. You
No,
know,
no, I don't disagree. Yeah,
they pressed the elevator button, the elevator door. They didn't check if the elevator was actually there, right? And
it
then when
is
the
stepped
council,
in there.
they just stepped in there blind,
Yeah,
right? And then when the council came out wasn't performing, what do? You
yeah, yeah,
100%
yeah,
went with Microsoft's word. So you know what you do? Tool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Microsoft. Your tools ain't ready, but they'll be ready one day. And here we are, 3 years later.
Yeah, I mean, it really also explains. I kind of lost my train of thought here. Um, yeah, them getting their information, not vetting it, not waiting for results. Oh, yeah, it also explains Digital Foundry constantly saying these results are surprising. This is we didn't. They would say things like, "This is surprising. We didn't expect this." The PlayStation is punching above its weight, so it's almost like they were kind of read in. And Digital Foundry did say they are surprised because Microsoft has better specs, so the game should be looking and running better, but they're not. So no, you're right. So it was if they were listening to Microsoft and not vetting, now a lot of what they said makes sense as far as where they're getting this information from. Why are they standing 10 toes down? You can clearly see the results. So yeah, yeah, that's crazy though. That's all I can really say. That is crazy.
No, yep. So everything's just coming more clarity. Shout out to Blue Jay. He says more Xbox dudes like me need to watch this show. For real, bro. Because listen, people can say he's a hater. Wait up. I'm gonna promise you one thing, Blue Jay. I will not lie to your face. For Sony
Yeah,
or anybody. I get paid by no one. I
yeah,
don't
we're not.
sponsor shit. I
Yeah, we
don't
don't get
sponsor
paid by
nobody.
anybody.
I don't sponsor nobody because that's a fine line that,
Uh
like,
huh.
what do you do? Somebody pays you something that constricts me from talking shit, you know? And I
Yeah.
need the shit talk. You know what I'm saying? When I need to get in my bag, I need to be in my bag. You know what I mean? I can't do that if somebody's paying me. That's just not how it works. That's just not how the
Yeah,
world works.
and this is why I always say pay attention to who you listen to. Okay, that's. Oh, I mean, I'm going to stand on that. Are you going to listen to? I mean, yeah, I mean, Porter Rock's right, and I've turned down 3 partnerships with different companies so that I could stay independent. So that's my truth. But there's no reason for anybody to lie to you. You don't have to call yourself an
Mm.
Xbox guy if you just like that's what you like to play. That's cool. I have an Xbox. Now, granted, it's only going to be here for another 6 weeks, but I have an
Ah, shit, this
Xbox.
guy
So
playing. This guy playing.
yeah,
Hey,
but
Blue Jay.
I
Go
know
ahead.
what
Go
it
ahead.
can
Finish.
do and what it's. I was just going to say, I'm finishing up here. I know what it can do and what it's good at. What they did that was better than Sony was the backwards compatibility. Porter Rock was mentioning that earlier. People playing older games at 120 FPS. They did a good job on that. Where they failed was with the newer technologies and taking advantage of it. Even a game built ground up for their system, Starfield. And again, I think Starfield is fine. I think it's a B game. It's a B game. I don't think it's as good as Oblivion and Fallout, but it's fine. But the fact that it doesn't take advantage of Rumble and stuff that we're used to having, that's a missed opportunity. It doesn't mean the game is horrible. But yeah, play what you want to play, bro. But ain't nobody over here gonna lie to you and take shots. Well, we may take some shots, but trust me, those people deserve it. That we're taking shots at. So, but all right then, Porter Rock, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing, man. This is the thing the chat needs to. This is the cut. This 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 league is doing phenomenal stuff because it's exposing the shield.
Yeah.
This exposes the shield. Now you can now. I'm gonna help you truly identify the shield from the gamers because this completely exposes it. Okay, if you see someone, and this happened a few hours ago, if you read a tweet and they're upset because at the time the blame fell on FTC, so the FTC was being blamed because people thought the FTC purposely leaked this. Listen, if you see a Twitter account, whatever, game or whatever, and their comment about all this, you got all this information. Like you got Microsoft talking about they may not be around 2027, things don't go their way. They could buy Nintendo, new controller, the type of, the discless Xbox, not even a mid-year refresh, all this information that is actually gamer centric. Whether you like it or not, it's actually gamer centric that you can relate and talk about. Like, oh shit, oh, what's happened if Microsoft were to buy Nintendo? Oh snap! So this is the next Xbox. It's a discless Xbox for $4.99, $5.99. Oh, these games are coming out. Oh man, this game was supposed to come out. All this stuff, all this game centric information. A whole leak full of gaming information. But if you ignore all that and the thing you are concerned about, oh, it's bullshit that these papers leaked. It shouldn't leak. The email shouldn't leak. FTC is wrong. So why the hell do you care how the information got leaked? It ain't your company. It
Yeah.
ain't your job on the line. You're not getting fired. Who gives a shit? You should be happy this got leaked so you can read all this stuff and be like, yo, this is crazy. This is a gamer's wet dream here.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of all those what you call it? What you call them? Conspiracy theorists when
Mhm.
Julian Assange leaked all that stuff from the government. That was their
Yeah.
wet dream. That was like their wet dream, bro. When they saw all
Yeah.
that stuff, oh my god, they were sifting through all that. How the
Yeah.
hell, if you're a gamer, this is a wet dream right here. You are looking at so much stuff. But if this upsets you, if you are upset that this shit got leaked, you're a shill. Why do you care this got leaked? You don't work for the company. I don't understand why you're upset. You're a shill. You chilling. So
Yeah.
all the streets like Paris Lily, chilling. I mean, he deleted it because he ended up wrong, but he blamed the FTC. What did he say? Um, Give me a second. Said Homeboy said blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. Paris vicious 690. He says this Xbox leak seems intentional. Spite is an ugly thing. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional. It was Microsoft's mess up. And two, why are you worried about it? You should be focusing on the games, the game information, things that impact gaming. How what a situation when how about this? Let me read this. So the thing about Nintendo. Let me read that. Okay, this is from Phil Spencer to Chris Capocella and Takeshi Numoto. Subject's called Random Thought. Takeshi, I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming, and today gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. I've had numerous conversations with the LT of Nintendo about tighter collaboration and feel like if any US company would have a chance with Nintendo, we are probably in the best position. The unfortunate or fortunate for Nintendo situation is that Nintendo is sitting on a big pile of cash. They have a BOD that until recently has not pushed for further increase in market growth or stock appreciation. I say until recently, as our former MS BOD member, Value Act, has been heavily acquiring shares of Nintendo. And he linked an article. Okay. It says US Nintendo Value Act exclusive. All right. And I kept in touch with Mason Morfitt as he's been acquiring. it's likely he will be pushing for more from Nintendo stock, which could create opportunities for us. Without that catalyst, I don't see an angle to a near-term mutual agreeable merger of Nintendo and MS, and I don't think a hostile action would be a good move, so we are playing the long game. But our BOD has seen the full write-up on Nintendo and Valve, and they are fully supportive on either if opportunity arises, as I am. So right
Yeah.
now they're playing a game. They got people buying shares, and you know what that means, right? The more shares you buy, the level of vote and conversations you become part of the board. So he got a plant in Nintendo stock,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that guy, his sole mission is to try to convince board members to come into some type of partnership with Microsoft. Nintendo fans, you good? Yeah, Craig, let's check on the Nintendo fans. You good? Phil still the good guy? Y'all cool?
Yeah, the thing
Y'all
is that
together? Y'all together? Nah, wait, hold on. Like, we need questions. I need a Nintendo dude. Hey, can I get some Nintendo dude? This is an open mic. Where y'all at? I need some Nintendo dude. Y'all love Phil, right? Where y'all at? Where Baron at? I don't think Baron's gonna show up now. Baron gonna be real quiet. Baron gonna be real quiet. What's going on? Huh? Nintendo. Hey, you're selling. Hey, let Microsoft buy Nintendo. Come on, bro. Listen, you can get all Nintendo games on Game Pass. You get it on PC, you get it on phones, play everywhere. That's what we want, right? That's what we want, right? Play everywhere. You can still play on your Switch too. Doesn't take away anything. Someone playing games on another platform shouldn't ruin your enjoyment on your platform, right?
Yeah.
What's going on, bro? What's going
Yeah.
on?
No,
Hey, yo,
it is what it is.
what happened, bro? You see what I'm saying? This shit is funny, bro.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy, bro. This shit
Yeah,
just, yo,
I'm
this
still
shit just
afraid to
blew
say it's
up.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm still afraid to say it's 100% real, but it does explain why they are targeting the Series S. That's why you're getting things at 30, and these clowns are defending it. How'd they go from 52 CUs and VRS and all that stuff to saying, well, 30 is okay now.
Look
So
at this. So the
it's
Brooklyn
crazy.
Series X, most
Mm-hmm.
powerful Xbox ever. Now
Yep.
adorably all digital. It looks like one of those T-Mobile cylinder Wi-Fi thing, right? So Brooklyn will
Yeah.
deliver. So pretty much the spec is the Xbox Series X spec. So nothing
Mm-hmm.
changed. Not an actual mid-gen refresh. It's just a new innovative design. So instead of a square refrigerator, it's a cylinder.
Yes, it looks like
More
more
internal
cylinder.
storage. So now 2 terabytes of storage. USB front port for power delivery. I think PlayStation has USB-C, doesn't it? Yeah. Like, well, that ain't new. A new
Yeah.
immersive controller. So now we like haptics. Now we like haptic feedback,
Yeah.
but it's still $499.
Yeah.
Why? Because all right, so they added Wi-Fi 6 support. I don't get it.
Yeah, man,
It's
this is made a
six
PS5.
nanometer shrink for improved efficiency. So this is smaller. So they
Yeah.
reduced the Xbox Series X guts, removed the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it still $499?
Yeah, that's
Why is
why
it not? Why is
I'm
it not? Why
thinking
is it
that's
not
not a
three
good.
ninety nine?
Yeah, to me it should be $399 or even
Like,
$349.
like
So
what's going on here? Why is it the same price as the disc based Xbox Series X? There's nothing. There's minor improvements, and you can't tell me the controller because PlayStation 5 had that from launch,
yeah,
and PlayStation has Wi-Fi 6 and USB-C.
yeah. Again, they made a
What the hell
you
is
know,
that
like
nonsense?
like the late Optimus Code said, Sony made because he had talked to some developers and he said, Sony made a console for the future and so many words, and Microsoft made a console for if you just want to do things kind of the same way right now. So, which you may be able to do it at reduced at a lower cost, but I don't. Like I said, I have to keep reading it because it's such a massive dump of information. Like you said, it's like the WikiLeaks dump. There was so much there that a lot of people did not see like 40% of it. So just it's crazy. It's crazy. It does expose and explain some stuff though. That's all I can really say.
Let's see what else we got here. This is, now Xbox in their plans. You know what?
I was gonna say I'm gonna hop off here.
All right,
yeah, I'm gonna keep listening. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably start up in about 20 more minutes. But yeah, because I'm still reading. I'm just gonna try to touch on some stuff for maybe 30, 40 minutes. So and then, that'll be it. So yeah, maybe come on later on with J-Dub. He's got his son. Shout out to his son. He got a football game today. So I told him I may set another one up around 8:30. Just to kind of go, because he had a really good in-depth thing on it. So kind of like, yeah, I was gonna kind of touch on that and get some audience feedback, and that'll be it. But all right, bro, keep up the good work, man. Enjoy the day, enjoy the night off.
All right, brother.
All
right. Take care.
Yep, you too.
There we go. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can do this. Let's see. Hold on. Where is it?
You might as well stop looking, player.
Oh man, here we go. Listen, see what you get. You get what you deserve. I hope. Listen. I hope Microsoft buys Nintendo. I'm all for it. I'm team purchase.
Hey, you shall receive. God damn it.
I'm team purchase. Do it. Do it.
Listen. Let's be for real here. I seen y'all trolling all morning. I had to make a video about this stupid ass shit. Listen. I think the most important thing about this whole situation, right, is how fucked up it is. I think everybody's just bypassing that. How messed up this situation is.
So you want a real conversation? Because I can have a real conversation. I could make it cordial. I could make this cordial.
No, we could do the fanboy troll shit too. It don't matter to me. It's okay. No.
Let's take away the TNT. Let's hear what you gotta say. Because I do agree. But let's finish. Let's rock off. Say what you gotta say.
Listen, I think, yeah, this is the Emperor. I had to come in here and interrupt my day because all I wanted to do was just scroll through YouTube, see what people were saying. Of course, somebody said my name, so I had to come in here and lay the smack down real quick. So, listen, this is the biggest league in gaming history, and it's really fucked up that this happened.
I love it. I'm glad this happened.
No, I don't know why you glad this is happening because it's I know why you glad it's happening because it's Microsoft. But if this happened in Nintendo or Sony,
I would absolutely be happy. I wish I could get a Sony leak because then I can answer your question on what games is coming.
But the thing is like, no company.
Let me ask you this: Why is this sad from a gamer's perspective? Why is this sad? I don't own the company.
I'm about to tell you. Okay, I don't think no company, and this is coming from a gamer standpoint. I'm stepping out of the Nintendo booth.
All right.
No company should have their whole fucking game plan and business plan leaked for the whole decade. That's not good for business at all. That's not good for shareholders. That's not good for investors. That's not good for the gamers. Now we essentially have the whole Xbox game plan till 2030, which means now we know everything now. Nothing is a secret. That's number one. Number two, now we have expectations. And the funny thing about when I seen this leak, I was like, there's a lot of shit here. I'm still reading through a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit. And we don't know what's actually confirmed, and we don't know what's actually even canned or canceled is not happening anymore. But now that the public already knows all this information, there's expectations now. So, looking at it from an entrepreneur standpoint, which I'm pretty sure you can understand, this is fucked up to the 10th degree. The way it was done, I think, was kind of shady. That's number one. Number two, I don't know what Microsoft really does from this point, because what do you do as far as operating on the Xbox brand when your potential customers know everything? And I'm not even talking about the Phil Spencer emails yet. I'm just talking about the whole Xbox roadmap that was leaked. When you when your consumer base knows everything for the next 7 years, how do you operate from now to 2030? That's the question I want you to answer for me.
Okay. So from a business perspective, an entrepreneur, shareholder, you are right. This is fucked up, right? But I'm going to tell you, I don't give a damn. But I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer your question because you asked the question. From Phil, he's going to have to do a lot of damage control because he exposed things that some people don't like. He exposed plans that he needed to be quiet because now Sony can use that to advantage. Right?
Exactly. That's
right?
That's point number 2 from my end. Yeah. Exactly.
So Sony, because like Sony now can say, "Hey, we told you, like we told you, Microsoft wasn't truly about this, good guy, whatever." It starts with one company, then it starts with another, and then by the time you know it, yes, they can dominate the industry, and you guys allowed it to happen. So Sony could potentially spin this whole thing and be like, regulators, we tried to warn you of what these guys could potentially do. Now they have their eyes set on Nintendo, right? When they were like, Sony could spin this to all the regulators. You guys were cheering Call of Duty going to Nintendo when Microsoft already had in the back of their minds, we're just going to buy them anyway. That is not the intent of anyone saying, "Oh man, we see what Microsoft's doing." Like, listen, bro, if I told you, "Hey, yo, bro, I got you, Baron. I understand things ain't going well. I'm gonna let you have this," and you're like, "Cool," but then I buy the shit anyway, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like that's not Nintendo owning Call of Duty. That is still Microsoft owning Call of Duty. You understand what I'm saying? So they have no intention of actually giving Call of Duty to anybody. If I tell you, "Oh, Baron, you can have this," or like if I tell you, "You know what, Baron, you can see this beautiful painting. You know what, you can own it, put it in your house," and you're like, "Cool," then I buy your house. So now I own the painting and everything in your house. I didn't give you the painting, Baron. I gave it to you. You understand? And think about it. Truthfully, from a business perspective, did Microsoft actually, in their mind, give Call of Duty to Nintendo when their intention is to try to get Nintendo anyway? You understand what I'm saying? Well, from a business side, Sony can spin that.
No, they really that perspective? What you're saying would make perfect sense if Nintendo was actually a acquirable entity. They're not. That's just him being delusional and having a pipe dream, which brings me to my other point. Phil Spencer, I don't have no problem with Phil Spencer. I think he has the same mindset as every business exec in any company that's major. He has a game plan and he knows how to execute it. But when it comes to people like that, sometimes there are certain goals they have in mind that are just not attainable. Everything that an entrepreneur or a business exec wants to do, I'm going to tell you right now, 80% of it doesn't happen. But they always fall back on something else that's great. Him having his pipe dream of buying Nintendo is not new. This is not new, but it's shockingly that he still has this in his brain as recently as 2020. That's what's shocking. It's like, bruh, it's not going to happen. It ain't feasible. It's impossible. It's not going to happen.
Well, look at this email, right? So I'm going to read you an email.
I read the email, but the fact that I've read the email already.
So in his mind, he really thinks there's a chance for this because, one, he has support within Nintendo stockholders that are buying stock. And they're literally, as they gain more stock, guess what they're going to try to do? They're going to try to convince other stock members to partner with Microsoft. That's that whole business corporate strategy takeover. It's not simply, hey, let's shake hands, you make good games. Nah, that's not how shit works.
I know that's not shit.
By controlling power. And if you put the right people in the company and they advocate for shit, it only takes a matter of time before other people agree, because in the end, it's all business. You know what I'm saying?
But
now,
that's perfectly
listen,
fine.
I agree with your part on the Nintendo side. It's going to be real hard to get the big players in Nintendo to even entertain this bullshit. I agree with that. But that's not who I'm looking at. That's not the lens we need to look at it. We need to look at it from Microsoft lens. From Microsoft lens, it's okay to give Nintendo Call of Duty, because in our mind, we might own them anyway. That's how we need to look at it. We just need to look at it from that. You know, in other words, all these deals were bad faith deals. They bad faith deals.
You kind of looking at it from one spectrum. It could be like, hey, you know what I mean? If let's say I acquire some big money and I get some shares into Atlanta Hawks, and my idea is like, I'm going to own the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going to move them to fucking bumblefuck Georgia or some shit. That's just a pipe dream for me, honestly, because it's so much to go entail for that to happen. Am I going to end up with majority ownership of the Atlanta Hawks? Probably not. You know what I mean? Especially when we talk about a Japanese company. There was no feasible way possible that an American company, in a tradition that is Nintendo, that Microsoft owned or supported stockholders were going to end up with majority ownership of Nintendo. It's impossible, because they have such a gridiron tight locked on that. And plus, from a financial standpoint, it makes no sense for Nintendo. Nintendo is doing perfectly fine. They're doing absolutely way better than Microsoft as it is right now. So that's why I think when people jumped on this headline, I'm like, this is not new, because they said something similar to this before in the past. When people forget, Microsoft did buy Rare from Nintendo. They've been courting Nintendo forever. It's just never going to happen.
The discussion's not whether it's good. Well, I ain't gonna say never. But what I'm saying is, it's Microsoft.
Microsoft has a better option of acquiring PlayStation from Sony than ever buying Nintendo. That is more feasible than buying Nintendo.
I don't know. At this point,
so it's not.
And especially as connections. Listen, the point is this though: whether they're successful or not is not the conversation. The conversation is because they believe they can do it. Giving Nintendo Call of Duty was nothing to them, because to them, they're not really losing anything. One, they gained the traction of looking like the good guy. Oh, look, I can now finally play Call of Duty on Nintendo. Microsoft's the good guy. When in reality, Microsoft's like, we're going to try to go after Nintendo anyway. That's the point I'm trying to say. It's not whether whether or not they can actually be successful. It's a person who's pretending to do something out of virtue. It's pretty much virtue signaling. It's pretending to be you're the good guy when in reality you already had another scheme. You know what I'm saying? It's like these rich people who go out. It's like he pulled an Oprah and Rock. Hey, we're gonna donate $10 million to support Hawaii, bitch. You opened up a fund so you could get everybody to put in investments. Then you claim you did all that. You ain't gonna put no $10 million of your own money into the Hawaii fires. No, you created an investment fund, get broke people to invest, and use their money so you could claim the taxes. That's what Oprah and Rock did. They virtual signal thinking they're the good guy when in reality, no, bitch, you ain't actually doing shit. You just created an opportunity to take other people's money, and then you're gonna use it as your own to invest, to donate, and then you get the tax credit. Oh, motherfucker, stop lying. You had no interest in being the good guy. You just found a way to make it look like.
Listen,
you ain't gotta defend these dudes. They shady. Listen, bro.
I'm not defending that. Listen.
Always been that way. Microsoft has always been the shadiest company since birth.
Yes.
That is the one thing.
Let's make it perfectly clear. The angle you're perceiving right now, I'm not saying that's inaccurate. Oh man, why am I echoing now? What's going on? All right, so what I'm saying, like the angle you're presenting right now, and they're saying your mic low, Porter Rock, so you need to turn up your mic.
That thing is already up.
Oh, so the angle you're presenting right now, I'm not saying that's No, that's not accurate. It can probably be accurate. That's with any head of any major corporation on the planet. I don't understand why y'all try to make the way Microsoft operates or the way Nintendo operates solely a Microsoft and Nintendo thing. Newsflash: all these companies that y'all like, they operate the same way. Sony probably thinks the same fucking way. It's not. This is not just one sole type of thing. People at the head of these companies, they really have one mindset. What is going to drive the company forward? What is going to make the company most money? How can we get to where we want to be? Phil Spencer has a clear plan, and it detailed in the documents. He wants Xbox to be the industry leader in gaming by 2030. That is the overall grand scheme that he wants to do. And what, to me, is actually delusional, but also flattering at the same time, is that he understands he cannot be the industry leader of gaming without Nintendo. That's the main point that you're overlooking. Is not the fact that he has his pipe dream that he wants to buy. He understands that you cannot be the leader in the gaming space without basically having some type of partnership or ownership over the prime suspect in the gaming industry leader, and that is Nintendo.
You give him so much credit. You give him too much credit because the reality is his mindset is just buy everything.
That's exactly what the document says. It says lead the industry by 2030. This is what everything they have to do to lead it by 2030. So having that dream of owning Nintendo, I understand. It's like, but bro, that's not going to happen. I mean, to be the head of a company like that, you got to kind of, it's kind of like Pinky in the Brain. We're going to take over the world today. I don't really think you are, but good luck trying. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, good luck trying, but you gotta have that broad scale mentality of you can do any fucking thing to make you believe you can do it. That don't mean it's actually had any foundation of actually happening. Them giving Call of Duty to Nintendo, that ain't really shit that was really going to do anything. Their main scope is they want to be the leader of the game industry by 2030, which I think is delusional. But that was his plan. Yeah, so basically putting Xbox on every fucking platform known to man, you could kind of get to that direction you want to go by 2030 if you have Xbox on every living thing on the planet. So I understand that, but that was his pipe dream. They've had this dream for a long time. So it shocks me that they still have it as recently as 2020 when the Switch was absolutely destroying everybody. It was just something that was just not feasible at all. So that's the funny part.
All right. Let me.
I think it's crazy.
What he wants is he wants to buy everything or as much as he can. He's not just.
I think that's true. I think that's true.
I agree with that. Right? He's also looking at Warner Brothers. This is, you know what I'm saying? The point is, and I think if we all agree, Microsoft as a publisher is long way off from the days of Xbox 360. They no longer have the ability to know what good games are, to create good games. So he's just gonna buy all the talent, all the strongest companies that make the strongest IPs, and just absorb them. That's the only play he got left. He doesn't got anything else left. There's nothing else left.
But Rock, that was the main issue, and I think. Here, I want to make this perfectly clear. Phil Spencer is fucking delusional as fuck. But I'm also looking at it from his perspective of trying to bring a gaming company from last place to the industry leader. He is the man had you can say what you want about him. The man had a game plan and he was fucking executing it. He understood that their first party lineup had to beef up. How they beef up that first party lineup, that's up to him. He decided we're just going to buy a lot of shit. So that's the route they took. He understood that exclusives and first party lineup is the most important thing. They need to beat that up. They did that. Now he's moving to the next thing. We got to get Xbox brand, Xbox, play Xbox on every fucking thing feasibly possible. We cool with Nintendo right now. We still courting with them. Let's see if we get Call of Duty on there. Boom, we got Call of Duty on there. Microsoft, Sony ain't trying to play with us. They understand. They hate us. Whatever. We'll figure that out later. And also you could also see from the leaked documents where they had the whole Xbox Gaming Beyond roadmap, it had a fucking handheld. So they was even planning a Microsoft handheld. So they was really trying to do everything they can to achieve this, which I think this goal was unattainable, honestly, to me, by 2030, to be the industry leader in gaming as a whole. They had a handheld, they had a mobile controller, and even a one-handed controller. So they had all these plans to achieve this one goal. Buying Nintendo was just one of those pipe dreams of achieving this goal because they understood how big of an impact Nintendo has on the gaming community as a whole. You can't lead the gaming industry if Nintendo is your competitor. It's just simple as that. He understood that. He understood that. We're not even gonna get into that. We're not going back and forth.
Am I lying? Am I lying?
You cannot be an industry leader as in the gaming industry as a whole with Nintendo still out there as your competitor.
If anything,
that is
facts. If anything, I say Sony bumped Nintendo out of the console market.
Lord, we're not gonna get into this.
Okay, can I jump in? Can I jump in here?
Am I lying though, Emperor? Am I lying?
We're gonna go back and forth with this all day, but go ahead, man. What do you got to say?
They ran him out of the console business.
Is that M? Who's that talking? We'll let them get
that. That's Extreme.
Okay. Extreme.
What's up, Extreme?
Yo, what's up? What are we talking about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
Hey, I just woke up. Remember, like you didn't say anything.
Shit, bro, you better get back. Man. You better get back on Twitter, bro.
Hey, you got a lot to read, bro. You got a lot to read.
Yeah. Are we talking about the leaked documents?
Yep.
Yeah, you got to go read that shit before you start talking about it. You got to read it to read.
There is a lot.
Basically, the whole Xbox game plan for the whole decade from 2020 to 2030 got leaked by the FTC.
Now, talk about from the business side. Now, the question, is this bad for the gamers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because now, gamers seeing what's going on, the very same gamers that was all supportive for the Bethesda acquisition, for the ABK acquisition, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna preface this, I wasn't against either or. I was like, whatever, it's a third party, it is what it is, right? So I didn't really care one way or another, right? For me personally. But there was people that was pro acquisition. They were pro ABK, Bethesda, all these reasons, things like that, right?
Yeah.
As soon as the word Nintendo was even whispered, oh, for what was that? For what was that? Now you seen the Nintendo Reddit? Complete 180 on Phil Spencer. Now they hate him. Let's see, we go now into zero sound. Y'all can't hear me now?
He said your mic is in another room.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, your sound is pretty bad. I think.
Testing. How about now?
Yeah.
Hey, chat. So what's going on, chat? How about now?
It got lower. What are you doing, Puerto Rock? It's even low to me now. It got worse to me.
Did it get worse?
Oh man, what mic you using, bro?
Emperor, just turn yourself down so that we can equalize the volume.
Let me see. This is
I guess he could turn me down himself. I don't know.
All right, hold on. Testing. Yeah, this is a work mic. This ain't the usual mic because I'm in a hotel right now.
Oh, that might be it then, because you sound like you under a pillow.
This is like a little work mic. So let me see. Maybe it's not coming from the mic. Oh wait, hold on. You might be right. It may be. Hold on, you might be right.
Well, everybody's saying it. I know they're right because I hear it now. So, yeah.
Let me see. No, he might be right. It may not. Let me double check something real quick. Because you might be right. Let me make sure. Let me look at property.
Yeah, but this is wild. But honestly, I just feel bad for the whole team at Xbox because
feel bad for them.
Yeah, because there's no way they're going to be able to satisfy anybody in their fan base right now from this point on.
that is
There's
no
no way.
gamer's
But why
problem.
would you feel bad for them?
That is
I
no
don't get
gamer's
it.
problem.
Honestly, nobody 10-year game plan should be leaked.
That makes no
That's
sense.
period.
Like,
That's
why
period.
would
Nobody
you feel
10-year game
bad?
plan.
Like, you're not there, you don't work for them.
Because
That
that's
doesn't even change the
what-
plan.
if anybody had hard work that they worked on privately.
Hold on. How does this even affect it? Like,
Huh?
you think that if Microsoft was gonna go buy someone, they're gonna be like, ah, shit, our plan like cancel it? Like, no, they're not.
Okay, Extreme. Extreme. This why I say you need to go read the whole leaks. It wasn't just about Nintendo buying Microsoft. Their whole Xbox
I'm
game
sure
plan.
Nintendo wasn't by Microsoft.
The whole game plan by Xbox was leaked. It's not just.
Are you talking about like the next consoles and everything?
Everything, yeah, a lot of shit.
And the next handheld, so the people like you, Brian, can finally say the DualSense was.
So, like, for example, they leaked
everything. But Bethesda had all their games leaked, all 8 of them. So that's just wild. So it's everything. It ain't just about Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft thinking about buying Nintendo.
Give me the cliff notes. Give me the cliff notes over here.
So like for one example. One example, they leaked the supposed mid-gen refresh. All it is the Xbox Series X without a disk drive and Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yep.
Yeah, so that's one example. Talking about Nintendo, trying to acquire Nintendo, they have apparently somebody that's already owning shares, so they have kind of like a way in with somebody to influence Nintendo, but that's like a long-term strategy. They were talking about also potentially buying Warner Brothers and other studios and stuff like that. So pretty much,
Valve was another one in one of the emails.
Valve is another one, right?
Yeah.
I guess the day after the PS5 reveal. So you know how that whole bullshit of 12 key flop, 30% GPU, all that shit that got spread in 2020 by Xbox content creators, that all came from Microsoft. Microsoft spread all that, gave them all that information. They're the ones that told them. Yeah, they're the ones that told them that they had a 30% GPU advantage. All that shit we heard, that's from them.
Okay.
And then the content creators ran for it. That's why the content creators were so adamant about, this is the truth. You guys are fanboy, you know what you're talking about. Because they were listening to Microsoft. Microsoft gave them that information, and all these content creators and Xbox fanboys, they ran with it.
Yep.
And now they look stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Let me hit up the super chat real quick. The Ruhami says,
there's a super chat. I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Your mic is low. I'm trying. Hey, I don't have my regular mic. I apologize. Suffering succotash. From sub. Yeah, sub. I'm not saying your whole name. I'm just gonna call you Sub 24. We got Quinn Bart. Sony is a T1 company. Japan forbids their purchase. Interesting. And SNK, he says, you smell that? It smells like Monopoly to me. Oh shit, But back in the day, I understand from a professional standpoint, I get it. But from a gamer standpoint, this is good. Because now gamers are actually seeing Microsoft's true game plan. A lot of gamers just thought that Microsoft was just simply trying to compete and that it was just this, Activision, and then just nominal things. When Microsoft is still trying to sweep they're trying to take the whole plate. They're trying to get the whole slate to include Nintendo. And what's funny is, now that people saw that, and of course you're saying it's delusional, never going to happen, but the fact that Microsoft is trying to get Nintendo, now you see gamers, again, and this is what I was trying to say, gamers that were all about the Bethesda acquisition and the ABK acquisition, now they don't like Microsoft because they're going after Nintendo. They don't like the idea of Microsoft going down to Nintendo. So now a line in the sand is drawn by these same gamers that was cool. All this.
Turn him down.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether or not they get it, listen, whether or not they get it is not the point. Gamers now see Microsoft with their true colors, and that's what matters. That's what I'm quite with
here's the thing. I've read almost everybody's comments, and it seems to be a split thing. And it seems to be a consistent thing that I've seen is that everybody's for the Bethesda acquisition. Everybody's for the Activision acquisition. They will not be for acquisition the size of Nintendo, which makes sense. That's just asinine at that point. But that's just something that just, like I said, it's just not feasibly possible any fucking way. Keep in mind for people to understand that these were emails that Phil Spencer was having conversations with the Xbox team. So they were
Emperor, can you
they
just
were
stop the
candid
damage control for 1 second? 1 second.
conversations.
Let me speak.
No,
Let me
hold
speak
on,
on
no.
this. I haven't had a chance.
Let me finish. Let me finish, please. These were candid conversations between Phil Spencer and the Xbox team. This is doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure people at Nintendo talk this way as well. I'm pretty sure people at Sony talk this way as well. They're probably not as ambitious and delusional as Phil Spencer, but I'm pretty sure they're talking this way. And I think the one thing that people are shocked about is how they talk. I'm like, what do you think they talk about? How do you think they talk? That's my question for people. What do
Are you
you
finished?
think they talk? Like that's
Are you
crazy
finished?
to me.
Oh yeah, but that question goes for the Phil Spencer crowd because they're the ones that making him look like an angel. I'm not the one.
I don't
Listen,
think Phil Spencer was ever an angel. I don't think he's an angel at all.
Listen, they call him Phil Dominus Maximus. They nicknamed his ass.
Nobody
You understand what
called
I'm
him
saying?
that. You lying bastard. Phil Thomas Maximus, bro. Stop lying.
Are you kidding me?
They don't
You
call
think
him
I'm
that.
lying? You think I'm lying?
I
I
think.
am
Listen,
not lying, bro. They call him
I
Phil
don't.
Maximus Dominus Aurelius. I am
I
not
don't
lying,
listen.
bro. I'm not lying,
I.
bro. You probably
I,
haven't. You probably stepped away
no,
too long in this
listen.
community, bro.
I look at everybody on Twitter. I see how you was trolling. I see everybody that's trolling. I see the typical Xbox guys, defending and holding a line with the Xbox flag. I see it
I
all.
made that shit
But
up. You think I
but
don't
the,
like that name?
but the thing is, look. Phil had a plan, and a lot of people do not like the way he's going about it, and that's fair. That's fair. But he said he was going to do something. He's trying to do that. The way he's doing it is probably not the best way. To be
Emperor,
honest
are you done? Are you done? You're just repeating yourself now.
But he's
I
just
like
trying
to
to
speak
fucking
now.
do it.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Extreme.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go
All
ahead.
right, listen. First of all, we both know that this isn't a thing that you as a gamer should care about. However, the PR kind of lands on Microsoft, it is what it is. They have public relations experts. They'll get back into it. By next week, everybody will be on their side again. I don't believe anybody who thinks that mass consolidation is fine when it comes to Activision, but somehow Nintendo is the line they draw in the sand. It's like, nah, you're either in it or you're not. Like, you're either for it or you're not. So the point is, if you support Activision Blizzard, you support Nintendo. It doesn't matter whether you think it's possible, whether you think it's logical, whether you think it's feasible. It just matters on where you stand ideologically on the issue. You can't just be like, yeah, I want to see the world burn, but leave Nintendo alone. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, like you said, P-Rock, we knew this.
That's
we
extreme, but
knew
go ahead.
we knew that as gamers, we always knew that they were being fed this information and that none of their takes were genuine. So now we get to have a frank conversation within the community about, who do we believe, who do we trust? And the point is, if you are a big Xbox content creator, there's a good chance that somewhere there you sold your soul to the devil and you cannot be trusted with your gaming
my
takes.
God.
Because if you are being fed information and you're not giving your own opinion, your own analysis, you're not thinking about things, you're just parroting whatever PR told you to say, then I'm sorry, you cannot be trusted. And again, now we get to have a frank conversation. Overall, this leak, it's a win for gamers. And honestly, there's parts of the leaks that I'm excited about. The fact that they're actually putting a haptic feedback in the controllers, that's a great thing because it means more developers are going to support that feature and going to implement it well. There's the new Xbox Series, whatever they're going to call it, but everybody said that they should have just done what PlayStation did and have an all digital Xbox Series X. So that's an exciting prospect for those people that want that. Personally, it's kind of alarming to me because I like physical media. So it's never a thing that I was going to be interested in. But at the same time, it makes a lot of sense since a lot of Xbox marketing and relationship to the customer goes through Game Pass, and Game Pass doesn't support physical discs. So it kind of makes sense to have a more powerful all digital version of your most powerful box. So there it goes as well. And the truth is that, listen, guys, at the end of the day, this does not affect Microsoft's plans. Whatever Microsoft has planned, whatever hundreds of millions of dollars they are ready to pour into a strategy, they are not going to simply abort because the plan was leaked. Like Phil Spencer is probably like, yeah, so what? Like, yeah, I will buy Nintendo. Like, you think if Nintendo went up to him and was like, hey, listen, this went public, you just want to go ahead and go ahead with it? Do you think he's gonna be like, nah, I wanted to do it in secret, but it's just not the same in the light of day? He'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. So this thing, Emperor, where you feel some kind of sympathy for them, like they lost something. I'm like, why? They've done nothing. They've lost nothing. You know, what, a little bit of a PR hit. Xbox has had PR hits like year after year after year. Like
Okay.
this
All
this
right,
is this is nothing. This is nothing. Like you.
Okay, I think
because
no,
I agree with
I
Baron.
understand. I understand.
Like, listen, I agree with Baron that all
Just
companies
fuck all
are
the
shady.
developers. I get it. I
agree.
understand. I got
agree.
it.
Well, the developers are fucked. How are the developers fucked?
If a company got eight games leaked that they're supposedly working on,
But how does that even?
I don't think that's supposed to.
Hold on.
That
The fact that a project is leaked, yeah, the gaming industry is the only creative medium that is so secretive about their projects. There's reasons for that. There's realities for that. But the point is, as a gamer, that doesn't actually affect you. As a gamer, if you know that,
I didn't say that affected me. I said I kind of feel bad for the people that got all their shit leaked. I'm not talking about Phil.
But the thing is, it doesn't even affect the project.
I don't care about
again,
Phil.
this is like a
Phil
PR issue. It's not It's not like if Bethesda was making Elder Scrolls 6 and now it's revealed that they are making Elder Scrolls 6. It's not like the developers are like, shit, now we have to only half the budget. Like, it doesn't affect the project. Yes, it affects PR and advertising and everything else that a company is going to deal with. But that's why they have like PR management. That's why they have these people in place to put out these fires.
Let me stop you right there. Because I said this on my stream when this first came out. A lot of this stuff was basically dated back to 2020. And I said this right before, because Phil Spencer did tweet about an hour ago about the situation. He finally made a comment officially. I said a lot of this stuff looks like it's a go, and some of this stuff might not be a go anymore. It just might have been plans. And he tweeted, in his tweet, you could go look at his Twitter, because he tweeted about an hour ago. He said, a lot has changed. So, this is why I say it's kind of fucked up.
That's damage control.
I don't know.
That is literally the thing I was talking about.
Let me finish what I was saying. He said a lot has changed, but it's a lot of exciting stuff coming in the future. This lets me know that, because companies do this all the time. They do projected schedule, they do projected projects, whatever. They put it out there. They have these PowerPoint presentations and these deck slides and all that shit. So this lets me know some of that stuff we've seen probably ain't happening no more.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure. That's for sure. So
why do you feel bad?
Like why? Why do you think it's not?
I don't know which one. I think. Listen, for me, I think the Xbox handheld was something they just had an idea. Maybe it was in research and development at that point. I don't think that's solid, because we haven't heard nothing about that. So when I seen that, I was like, man, that has to be one of the things Phil's talking about, that some shit has changed. Bethesda working on 8 games. I don't think all 8 of those games are coming out. That's just me. Those 8 games I got, I don't think all of them are coming.
One way or another. So, that's the thing for me where I'm like, I don't understand like why people are basically having any feels about this. Like, it is what it is. Again, this changes nothing. As a gamer, you care about the games. If you get a little bit of inside baseball about what games are coming, great for you. Like, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I agree or I disagree with these projects, whatever. But that doesn't change what the project is gonna be. It doesn't change its quality. Again, from a gamer's perspective, I'm like, what's the issue here? All we got is a slightly inside baseball look at what Microsoft's plans were. And even the way that people are acting about, oh, he wants to buy everything. I'm like, is anyone surprised? Like, no shit, he wants to buy everything. Like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a mild day. Like, yes, he wants to buy Nintendo. Yes, he wants to buy Valve. Yes, he wants to buy Warner Brothers. Yes, he will buy all 3 if possible. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised there's even a reaction. Like, where's the reaction coming from? This has been who they are.
No, I agree.
Have you not been paying attention?
I agree with the reaction, because for some reason people don't understand this is how the corporate executive mindset is.
No,
This
stop
is-
saying the
this is how
corporate. You try to
is.
make
Like,
it general. No, this is just Microsoft. Like,
no,
we
it's
can
not
be
just
honest about it.
Microsoft. It's not just
It's
Microsoft.
just Microsoft. It is just
No, it's
Microsoft.
not
Only,
just Microsoft.
only
bro.
Microsoft
It's not.
requires
Let
these
me ask you
things.
this.
Lord have
Let me-
mercy.
let me-
This
let me-
man
let me
really
ask you-
trying to
let me
think.
ask-
No other company thinks this
okay,
way.
okay, but let's look at no. So you could say they might have a mindset to win, but let's look at it specifically. Nintendo bombed with the Wii U. It was a bomb. How did they make their comeback? Did they try to buy developers to try to make a comeback? Like, what did they focus on?
They focus on innovation. That's really what they focus on. They
Innovation
focus on
and
innovation
game
and they focus on their
and,
software.
and software. Now,
Mhm.
you out of all people know, PlayStation bombed with the PS3. What did Sony focus on?
They
to get
focus on
back
their
in the line?
software.
They focus on the software. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Microsoft, notice none of the leaks talk about, hey, how can we get game development better? Hey, how come we can't get our games running at 60 frames? Hey, how come our games? Look at the leak. Notice none of it's talking about. Listen, no, listen. None of the leaks actually even addresses software issue. Have you noticed
Mhm.
that? Do they
Yeah.
even talk about that? Does Phil even care? Like, do you see any email? Hey, I'm really disappointed how Redfall came out. What happened? Why can't we get this game running at 60 frames? Why are we providing a terrible experience to our consumers? How come he's not doing a developer's ass in the email? How come we don't see none of that?
Okay, listen. On that perspective, I would like to know more about the Redfall situation, how that happened, and it came to be. But for you to sit up here, you basically painted the picture for me. Nintendo had to focus on their software and innovation. Sony had to focus on their software. Microsoft had to focus on their software. It's just that Microsoft is doing it a different way. They rather buy shit up and make it exclusive for their shit. That's the way that's the way they see they can fix their issue.
That's not their software. They are buying other people's software and absorbing it.
And making it theirs. I mean, it's
actually Nintendo think about it. Nintendo focus on theirs, and because they focus on theirs, you're able to get new titles, new IPs, new creativity. Sony did the same thing, right? Because of that, Sony went as far as to provide probably one of the best Spider-Mans we get to play. All Microsoft is doing is, listen, you don't even play Spider-Man, so you can't even have a comment on that. But, right? Let me put it this way. But, say what you want, but this Spider-Man is the most popular Spider-Man in gaming, period. No other Spider-Man game reached the level of success this has. It is what it is. It's fact.
I'm not going to debate you about that. But the fact of the matter,
Spider-Man game. Listen, a Spider-Man game that sells 20 million. You cannot have a conversation on that.
I'm not debating Spider-Man. I'm just sitting up here. I'm simply telling you. I'm sitting up telling you it's the same.
Listen. So Nintendo focus on the software. Gamers got the benefit of Nintendo software. Sony focus on software. We got the benefit of Sony software, right?
Okay.
Microsoft, all they're saying is, yo, Baron, I'm just gonna take the shit you already playing, but I'm just gonna put my name on it. You're not getting anything really new. You're just getting shit you would have gotten anyway. Microsoft's just saying it's just mine now. But you didn't get nothing new. Nintendo's creating new experiences. Sony creating new stuff. Microsoft says, hey, the shit you're gonna play anyway, I'm just gonna co-sign the check and claim it as mine. You see what I'm saying?
Listen. Now listen. I'm not saying you're incorrect.
How do we benefit from that? How do we as gamers benefit from that?
Come on, listen. I understand that y'all have a vendetta against them. It's okay. I understand that you're correct. 50%.
It's not a vendetta because listen. Hold up. It's not a vendetta against them because notice I'm also giving props to Nintendo. So it's not a vendetta thing.
All right. I'm just saying 50% of what you said is correct. A lot of them had to do with them just buying and acquiring shit, but they are creating new experiences with the studios they have bought. The bottom line is they understood software first party lineup is important. Everybody understood that at a certain point. Even Microsoft. Microsoft is just taking the easy way to get to it and the fastest way to get to it. You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta like it, but they're doing the exact same thing. So I can't sit up here.
And the laziest.
Well, yeah, that's probably
'Cause
lazy
again-
too.
'cause-
That's
'cause
probably the
again-
lazy way.
Because
But
again,
the fact of the
so
matter
far,
is, you still got to look at it the same way. They bought a lot of shit that's already existing and made it their own. But they also bought a lot of studios that's making exclusive stuff or new stuff or Microsoft branded stuff, such as Perfect Dark and other stuff. So they have done both. But the thing is, they have cut corners. I'm not saying they haven't. They're just trying to do it the fastest way.
Okay,
That's what Phil is trying to do.
You said it.
So-
Right. Listen, guys, listen. First of all, let's undo some of the narratives that happened last year. Remember last year around this time when no showcases were happening from PlayStation and people were like, whatever about Xbox's showcases, and people were like, oh, it's because of the FTC trial. And I said that was the dumbest thing in the world, because if the FTC wanted to look into their plans, they could, because that's what investigators do. They can look into your future plans without you needing to pull out the showcase so that they can be like, oh, that's what you're planning to do. So first of all, we can undo that entire nonsense last year about how there were no showcases happening because of the FTC trial. Like, again, as you guys can see, the FTC can know the future plans. So there it is. Again, I'm looking at this from the gamer's perspective. What are we learning from this? The second thing is this: Portorock is 100% right. Microsoft is not invested in succeeding organically on their own, even from the position that they have right now. Okay, they are invested in being like, hey, listen, my superpower is that I have more money than you, and so I'm gonna buy it. Now, first of all, I don't begrudge them that. If you have money and that's what you want to exercise, go ahead and exercise your money. But from a gamer standpoint, I have to say again, where is that money being invested? And this is why I agree with Portorock, because it's like you are not invested in creating new gaming experiences that are going to elevate the medium. You are just interested in moving things around that are already there. And the thing is, in moving things around that are already there, what is the danger? The danger is that we are going to lose out on future things, because now everything has to be funneled through this one person. So now there's one avenue for creativity to happen. And the thing is, when it comes to a creative field, if we are just going to allow Microsoft to change the rule set such that the person with the most money can just come in and buy everything, then we are eventually going to lose out on a ton of creativity. There's a reason why there's this indie search movement, and I'm 100% for it, because the more avenues we have to get projects approved, to get games for people to take risks, the more we benefit. If Microsoft bought Sony, bought Nintendo, bought Rockstar and everything, and now Phil Spencer is the one person that approves or disapproves of particular projects, there will be less creativity put out by the industry as a whole. So again, this comes to an ideological question. I do not have a problem with Microsoft spending their money, but the question that we gamers have to ask is, should we support that? Do we want that? Okay. And the thing is, I think we don't. I think we don't want Microsoft to keep buying more things than they already have. I still don't think the Activision Blizzard deal is going to go through because of these reasons. Because that would change the rule set. That would be like, hey, you can be in last place, but should you have enough money, you can buy your way to first place. Like, you can just buy the whole stadium that everybody's competing in, and now you can make the rules whatever it is. As it is right now, we have the person from last place, okay, that is already trying to change the mindset of the consumer by being like, hey, everything should be in a subscription funnel. That is a disastrous way to run business. And the only reason that they can do that is because of their money. So again, it's like letting the rich kid be able to buy whatever position he wants on the running track. And then the kid is like, hey, I see these positions here. Okay, I see them. But what if I started like right before the finish line? And everybody else starts like 3 kilometers back. How about that? How about I make it that rule? And so you allow the person with the most money to come in and just change how the game is played. And that's a very dangerous thing. If you want to, I know that a lot of people over here love talking sports, but if you want to, you can apply the exact same thing to sports. There are teams out there that have budgets that could buy like 90% of the league beneath them. And therefore, they just always seem to win and win and win, because the amount of money they're allowed to have just happens to be able to buy their way basically to the championship every single year. So that is that what you want for gaming? Like, do you really want the person who's in last place not to have to earn their way? Because before PlayStation was PlayStation, PlayStation was nothing, and they started from scratch. So I would like Microsoft to take that approach. I would like them to be like, hey, you know what? You've got billions of dollars to spend. Why don't you invest them in your own projects, in your own studios? Like the initiative, you started it. Why didn't you start 10 of those things? Why didn't you start 5 of those things? 3 of them were going to fail, but 2 could have been the next Bungie. So it's like they have the right to use their money. As a gamer, how do you want that money to be used? Do you want them to just take things that already exist and shuffle them around? Or do you want them to take risks and creating new IPs, new studios, and then new avenues for creativity?
Well, to really answer that, I think they're doing both. I think we've seen it's kind of a 50-50 split of them taking stuff that's already existed and versus stuff they're trying to create. There's a lot of new experiences. They're developers that are in-house now that are trying to create.
Stop you right there. Let me stop you right there.
It's,
hold on. They've invested $70 billion into trying to acquire Activision Blizzard. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say that goes through. Have you seen them invest $70 billion in their own studios? Because if so, you can't be saying this 50-50 thing. Like, it's not 50-50. If one side of the pie gets $70 billion and then the other side of the pie gets like $1 billion to share between 23 studios, that's only 50-50 investment.
Well, I mean, if you're just looking at the dollar and cents part of it,
you follow the money. That is the dollar and cents that matter.
But in actuality, we got to look at the actual value.
No, there's no buts. It's the money.
No, it is a but. It is a but.
No, there's no buts. It's the money.
It is a but because
it's a company. It's a company that is flexing its money.
Are more valuable than others.
Okay, sure. Let's say you and I have the same parents, Baron. Okay, for my birthday, they give me $1 million. For your birthday, they give you 100. Then your parents are like, our parents are like, oh yeah, we love you guys equally. Are you gonna be like, yeah, they gave you a hug and they gave me a hug? No, you're gonna be like, bitch, for his birthday, he received $1 million. For mine, I received 100. Is that equal, Baron? Is it equal? Yes,
that's
or no?
That's a great analogy from an emotional standpoint.
Yes or no?
But the thing is,
yes or no? Just say yes or no.
You cannot make that comparison.
Just yes. It doesn't matter what I can and cannot do. I can ask you to say yes or no.
No. Because
good. Why? Because the money is not the same. Is it?
Not the same value. You know this. I don't even know why we're debating this.
The money is not the same, isn't it?
Oh my God. Call of Duty is a highly valuable.
It doesn't matter what Call of Duty is. The point is, we follow the money. You're trying to. You always try to twist logic. It's like you try to pretend that we're dumb.
It's common sense to understand that certain game franchises have a higher value than others.
Again, if we have the same parents, we go to the same house, go to the same school, and everything. Yeah, hold on. And they gave me $1 million for my birthday. They give you $100. Not $100 million, just $100 for yours. Are you gonna go like, yeah, our parents?
I mean, that's nice
like
from
love
an
us
emotional
equally.
standpoint. I already told you that's great from an emotional standpoint. That's great.
No, it's not an emotional standpoint. It is you follow the money.
Bruh.
There's no emotion here. You're just trying to twist the rules. Just say yes or no. Like, why can't you? No. This is what I don't like about debating you guys. It's like you guys don't even accept the basis of what we're talking about. We're talking about a company, and so a company moves with money.
All game franchises have the same value. That's what you're telling me. That's basically what you're telling me.
No, hey, bro, don't even twist my words like that. I will not even allow that. I am not engaging that question because you know my premise is: do we follow the money for companies? Yes or no? That's my premise. Yes or no? A company moves. How do we watch what they're doing? Do we look at the money? Yes or no?
We as gamers, we really don't give a fuck about the money.
Gamers down. Now you want to talk from a gamers? It doesn't matter. Yes or no?
So where
money?
Are you talking from?
Yes or no?
Bruh, you're not making
look at you tap dance. You can't even get. You can't even get it out. Just say
you're basically
yes.
telling me
what?
That
you
it's not the same
just
thing
yes. Everybody knows the answer is yes.
$6 for Activision.
I'm literally asking you.
Less for somebody
2 + 2 is 4. You're like, nah, really? If you sit down and think about it as a mathematicien, it's not always 4. If you are looking in the quantum physics realm, because the way that we and logical math doesn't apply over there, and it's like, no, bro, you can just say like yes. Yeah, just say
I
yes.
said no because that's an asinine take there from you, and you
That's
know
not
wrong.
an asinine thing. You're always trying to twist logic. Like,
trying to
look at
say
you tap this.
every gaming franchise had the same value. They don't.
You see how you said
They
that,
don't.
and I never did. Do you see that? Do you understand
Bruh.
what you just did? That you know how I never even engaged in that conversation, and now you're saying I'm trying to say that. I'm not gonna let that slide.
You are.
With companies, we follow money, and
Okay,
if
so
you're going
why-
to be
okay,
here,
why-
if you're gonna step
why
up
did
to
you
me,
make the
you're going to
comparison
agree to like basic
Okay,
fact.
go ahead.
Okay,
Go
this
ahead.
isn't
I'm
the
not-
Trump
I'm not gonna agree
administration
to
that we're
that
trying
at all.
to
I'm
debate
not.
over here, where you can just come with alternative logic.
All
Okay,
right.
now
Go
let me
ahead.
adjust the chat since you're not interesting. Listen,
No, because you
chat.
talking some bullshit. and you
Let me
heard
finish.
bullshit.
Let me finish. You
It's
came here.
absolute
You have
bullshit.
40 minutes before I got here. Let me
So
finish. All
it's
right.
just
Chat.
crazy.
With companies, we follow money.
Every game
What
franchise
Baron
has the
said
same value.
earlier, where he's
That's
basically
crazy as
saying that
fuck.
it's a 50-50 investment. It's not a 50-50 investment until Microsoft shows that they have also invested $70 billion in their studios. Okay, that's a
crazy.
50-50 investment. If they come
That's
out and they're
crazy.
like, hey, listen, this is our part of money that we invest into acquisitions, and here's the same amount that we invest into our own studios, that's 50-50. Okay, Sony came out and then they showed you guys, hey, let me finish. They showed you guys the other plan. They said that in gas games, we're going to have 60%.
And you went over
Can you let me
that and
finish,
talked
mate?
about your nonsense.
Can you let me
That's
finish?
exactly what you
Can you
did.
let me finish? Is
Well,
that
go ahead, you can
are
finish.
you do you have the maturity to let the person
You can
talk?
go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
Thank you. So when Sony came out and then they said, hey, listen, by 2025, 60% of our money is going to go into gas games, and then 40% is going to go into single player games. People had their feelings about it, but they knew it wasn't 50-50. Okay, this is what I appreciate about the discussion. All right, when it comes to Sony, is that they come up with facts and figures, and you can feel one way or another. Yes, there are nuances to it, okay, but you know that by 2025, it will not be 50-50 for Sony, okay? And you can have your feelings about that one way or another, but there's no pretense. Okay, we don't pretend that we go and look at like, oh, certain IPs cost this or versus others cost that. No. They told you we will not be investing 50-50 into the two directions that we are going to take. So we have that base of fact. And the same thing with Microsoft. You can look at what they are doing and you can say they are not investing the same amount into the studios as they will into the acquisitions. So when you come up here, Baron, now I'm talking to you. When you come up here, Baron, and then now you want to twist logic to be like, oh, certain IPs are more valuable than the others. Yes, they are, but that wasn't the question. The question is, is Microsoft invested in creating new experiences? And you said they will do 50-50. And I'm telling you, they are not.
Okay,
Because the amount of that they are investing into their studios pales in comparison to the amount that they are prepared to invest into buying things. Okay, you can just say yes, like this is literally no skin off your back. I'm not. That is literally just fact.
Listen, bro, you trying to paint a picture that's not truly accurate. That's the thing that bothers me. It's like, bro, we understand that yes, they paid a little bit more. I ain't gonna say a little bit. They paid a lot more for the Activision acquisition.
So say it's not 50-50 then.
But the thing is, we got to understand what is the output.
Just say it.
What is the output?
That's my issue.
That's
my issue. Just say it's not 50-50.
No, stop skipping.
Because you just literally said that. Just say it.
Stop skipping what the point of Puerto Rock was trying to make.
No. It doesn't matter what the point is. Just say it's not 50-50. Then I'll let you talk. Just say it. Say it. I'm not going to stop until you say it. Like, so you're trying to twist the conversation. Just say it's not 50-50.
So I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you like Nick Saban told the reporter, I'm not going to, so stop asking. So you're wasting your time on that. But
we're not having a conversation until we have the same basis of fact. Like, this is not a conversation because you're just being delusional. You're just being delusional.
You know you're delusional. You're trying to say that the output of
don't say I'm delusional when you have nothing to back it up.
And trying to make new experiences is way more marginal than it is. That's ridiculous. It's not. It's ridiculous. What's your backup?
So I like the way you say words but don't make any sense. That is literally like impressive.
Porter Rock put out the situation which he said.
No, my issue isn't what Puerto Rock said. My issue is that you said it was 50-50.
Because here's the thing. You like
I'm talking to you. Forget about him for a second. Go ahead.
So, but this whole discussion has to do. This whole discussion has to do with what Puerto Rock said about
is it 50-50 or not?
To me,
is it 50-50?
To me, it is.
To you, it is.
It has to do with the output of the games. That's what it has to do with. Period. You want to
To
come in and
you,
talk
it
about
is.
it
Tell
has
me,
to
how
do
is
with
it
the output
50-50 to you?
of the games they have.
No.
That's
Tell me,
what it
how is
has
it
to do.
50-50 to you?
That's what it has to do with.
No. How is
So
it
at the end
50-50
of the
to you?
day, listen, at the end of the day, you can have
No.
your
At the
whole
start of the
view
day, let's
about
go back
what
to the
they
start of
spent
the
their
day. How
money
is it
on.
50-50
That
to
doesn't
you?
matter. That's not the point.
No.
You're missing the
That
whole
is the point. That's the thing that
No,
you
it's
said.
not
I'm
the
not.
point.
Go
It's
ahead.
not.
Why are
I'm
you
talking
yelling?
about
Why are you yelling? Why are you
software
yelling?
output.
How is it 50-50
You
to
talking
you?
about what they spent on the studio.
No, I'm talking about
software
you. I'm
output.
talking about what
So it's
you
like,
said.
bro, what are
I'm
you
not even talking
Why
about
you even
them.
went there? Why
I
did
told you I
went
have
there?
no issue with the way that
Okay, I
Microsoft
don't
spends
have
the
no
money.
issue
So you
either.
tell me, how is it
Listen,
50-50 to
bro,
you?
I have no issue with what they spent. I don't care.
No.
I care
Nobody
about the
does. Tell me,
software
how is it
output.
50-50
That's
to
the
you?
thing I'm talking
No. I
about.
don't care about what you care about. I want to know how it's
Okay,
50-50 to you.
obviously, what are we talking about then? You basically talking about a bunch of nonsense. I'm talking
Okay,
about the software
how is it
output.
50-50
This is
to
what
you?
Porter Rock was talking about.
No, it doesn't matter what Porter Rock was talking about. How is it 50-50 to you?
So I'm trying to figure.
Tell me how
out what
you
this has
make it
to do with the
50-50
software
in your
output.
mind.
What
That's what I
does
want to
this
know.
have to do with the software output?
Go
This is what
ahead
I'm
and tell
asking
me
you.
how you make it
Thank
50-50 in
you
your
for just
mind.
ignoring what the fuck I
Tell
said
me.
again.
Yes, I
The
will ignore
software
everything you
output,
say.
like I
How is it
said
50-50 to
from the
you?
beginning,
How is it 50-50 to you? How can you say
like I
words
said
and
from the
then dodge?
beginning,
Like, do you have
like
no
I said from
backbone?
the beginning,
Do you have
like
no
I said
backbone? How
from the
can you say
beginning,
things
All
and
right,
then
we're
not
not
like
gonna
back
get
I
them
no,
up?
said from
we're
the
not gonna get
beginning,
nowhere.
this is about the
We're
software
not, all
output.
right. Listen, we're not gonna get nowhere, right? You're gonna have to disagree to disagree. My point, I don't think it's 50-50 only because this is just my point.
You
I
have
don't
a brain?
I'm gonna be like, listen, I don't think Microsoft. I'm gonna be honest, man. The more I see shit, it'd be like I'm just surprised how these dudes have a job because I don't know what I don't think other than having $2 trillion to spend. I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing in gaming, bro. Like they're so far off the mark on so much stuff. Another email came out, right? So they talked about um let me bring it up. But they talked about the cost of how much content would cost to put it on Game Pass, and they broke down, and like some of those numbers are like super high. Even I was like, holy shit! Like Jedi
I
Survivor,
just seen that too. I just seen that.
yes,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
So like Jedi Survivor, if they were to get that day on Game Pass, it would have costed them 300 million, right? But this is the shocker. Baldur's Gate 3 would have only costed them $5 million to put day one on Game Pass. And the only reason they didn't do it is because, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't find the tweet, but they're saying the game looks like, oh man, I need to find the tweet, but something to the effect of it looks like a second class Stadia RPG.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, it was bad.
Whoa.
Yeah, let me get those. I need to get the specific one, man. But it was bad. I was like, they were so far off the mark on how Baldur's Gate 3 looked. Like bad. They looked at the game, and to them, it was like a second rate Stadia RPG.
What does
So
that even mean? Did Stadia even have an RPG?
like they really insulted it. They really just they thought it was trash to point
Do you
it
know
out,
what's
right?
funny about that insult? Is that Stadia didn't even come up with their own RPG, but they still made it the second
All
rate
right,
version of
here we
that.
go. Here it is. So this is a lesson in not counting your tadpoles before they had. It says right here, when Microsoft was considering future release titles to bring Game Pass last May, Larian's hit CRPG Baldur's Gate barely made the list. The game was described as second run Stadia PC RPG in leaked emails from MTC versus Microsoft. So that's how they categorize the game, a second run Stadia PC RPG. And that shit is most likely going to win Game of the Year. Or at least
You know
it's
what's
going to
funny?
like it.
This is
Like, you know what I'm
exactly how
saying?
they
What
let
does that have to do with
Spider-Man
But this
go.
is the point what I'm making, right?
What does that have to do with anything?
So the point is this, right? This goes where what I'm talking about. Microsoft goes after shit like Pentiment, Grounded, that crossfire bullshit, flop after flop after flop, and then they look at games like Baldur's Gate 3 and they're like, "Oh, that's trash." Did you know? Because there's a book in Volume 2 of the History of Gaming. James
Mhm.
Ong was put in charge. He's put in charge. I think he's still in charge, but he was the one that was put in charge to help build up Marvel Game Studio. Marvel, with the success of the movies, right? Now I'm paraphrasing the details, but with the success of the movies, Marvel wanted their games to be on that level. They were tired that their games were being treated as how most comic book games were treated as until Arkham Knight, and really since Arkham Knight, most games are treated just as they are. They just treat it as cash grabs. You either relate it to a movie or you do something quick. So the first thing was to get Spider-Man back because Activision was not going to treat it as a big AAA whatever. They treated the game as it always is, quick cash grab. It's just a Spider-Man game, right? James Gunn actually went to Microsoft first. He went to Microsoft and said, "Hey, we're looking to partner with somebody. We want this to happen. We want the game to be big. We want to treat it big. Microsoft, can we do something?" Phil said, "Nah, I'm not interested. I'm working on my own first party." Now, keep in mind, this was 2014. Now, Baron, you remember last time. What fucking first party did Microsoft release since 2014? They released fucking Crackdown, bro, and shit like that. Like, what the fuck? They released, remember the...
Why you brought back up Crackdown, man? What the fuck wrong with you, bro?
No, but I need you to zone in. In 2014...
I don't even zone in. I had an Xbox. I knew what was on it.
Yeah, James Gunn reached out to Microsoft, be like, "Hey, I got Spider-Man. Let's do something. We want this to be a big AAA title." Phil Spencer said, "No, we're not interested in this." And he's like, "Okay." Right. So he went to Sony.
Okay.
Hey, Sony. Okay. Sony's like, hell, the point what I'm trying to say is Microsoft has consistently shown they don't have talent to know what good games are.
Bro, listen, bro. Microsoft and Sony passed on Bayonetta. So, I mean, this shit happens all the time. We just don't hear about it all the time, but it happens a lot. If you don't think this happens a lot, it happens a lot. So why the fuck would they pass on Bayonetta? I don't fucking know. That was insane. But the thing is like,
listen, Bayonetta was a good game, but it's not a big hit. It's not.
You just detailed to me where Spider-Man was before it came to PlayStation. It was not in a good space. It was not in a good space. Bayonetta was definitely in a better situation than Spider-Man was for PlayStation.
Listen. So Bayonetta was a good game, but you're not going to make Bayonetta any bigger than what it is. Spider-Man was treated just as a cash grab. No one bothered to invest time. No one bothered. They even said in the book, it said, when James Gunn, when they renegotiated with Activision and pulled the deal, James Gunn says, "Hey, we're going to put this game in the better hands." Activision told them, "Good luck finding your unicorn." Activision didn't believe you could do anything with that game.
Okay.
That was in the book.
I agree with everything you're saying.
When I say Microsoft has consistently backed the wrong games over and over. These dudes don't know what good games are. Unless it's oblivious. Like, it's easy to know Elder Scrolls is a good game. It's easy to know Call of Duty. That's like saying it's easy to know Call of Duty is a good game. It's easy, certain games you don't have to have much intellect to know. It's easy to know Zelda is a great game. That's like oblivious. But to invest in shit like that, to really give a shot into games out of the blue, they don't have that talent.
Bro, it's different for every company, bro. Like it's like a lot of people in the chat is watching right now. I don't think they was around to understand the gutter that Spider-Man was in back in generations ago. Like it was not popping at all. It was not hot. These were not great games at all. So the thing is like,
but that's all.
No, it has to do with the perception from the company. That's all it has to do.
That's because the companies didn't want to invest. They treated comic book games as cash grabs.
I'm agreeing with you. I agree. Yeah. They did.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is Microsoft didn't have that vision to be like, you know what? We're gonna make this game big. We're gonna make it big.
Okay, well, a lot of and that happens.
I have a question.
I honestly, to this day,
hold up. In their mind, let's work on cloud power and Crackdown.
Listen, bro. But when that happened, Spider-Man was probably a D tier franchise at that point in time. So I don't blame anybody that passed on it. I'm pretty sure
I have a
Microsoft
question.
wasn't.
I have a question.
I'm pretty sure Microsoft wasn't the only one that passed on it.
I have
You
a
know what I
question.
mean?
I have a
But
question.
They
kudos to
went to
Sony for
Microsoft
taking the
first.
shot and investing
They,
into it.
they
So
went to
it is what it
Microsoft
is.
first. They went to Microsoft first, then they went to Sony. Sony took that shit and
Yo,
ran with that
yo,
motherfucker.
yo,
Hold
Pierre,
on, let
I
me
have
do
a
the super
question.
chat real quick. Let me do super chat. So we got Gemini J. He says Microsoft was the worst company to get into gaming. Oh shit. And Smoothie Movie. Feel like a hood dude with money trying to get laid. We ain't got time to work on it.
Oh
We
my
pay
god.
for it. He
Oh
paying
my
for the
god.
punani. That's Phil. He paid for the punani. He ain't. Yo,
I,
listen. He ain't got.
I don't
Listen.
disagree. I
Xbox.
don't disagree with
Listen.
that statement at
Xbox.
all. I'm not gonna disagree
Xbox
with
got
that.
no Riz, bro. Xbox got no Riz.
Oh my
They ain't got no
god.
Riz, bro. They got a pay
I'm
plan.
not.
They ain't got no Riz. Yo, Xbox got no Riz,
Man.
bro. I don't know what to tell you. They ain't got no Riz. They gotta pay for the
I listen,
punani, bro.
listen. Look,
You know what I'm
listen.
saying?
You make a great point about the Spider-Man thing, but it just has to do with the company perception of the franchise.
Okay,
There's
sure.
there's a lot of companies right now that are holding on to old franchises that they don't think have any value, but gamers want to see them back, and I think they hold great value. Nintendo is
Okay.
also a culprit of this as well.
Sure,
It's
sure,
like,
sure.
what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't know.
I always love the deflection. But anyways, here's my question. Piwak, you've got a publishing house, okay? You publish books, all right? And an agent comes to you and they're like, hey, listen. J.K. Rowling, she's
Hey,
going to make the
I
next
just want.
Harry Potter
just want.
trilogy.
I just want to give you a warning.
Okay.
I only read books with in it.
It's all right. You get this. You get this. All right. You get this. Even from the cover. All right. J.K. Rowling wants to make the next Harry Potter trilogy. Okay. Now, from that moment, Piwak, are you going to say yes or no?
I'm saying yes.
But why? Because it is one
I'm
of the
saying
most successful
I'm saying
IP,
yes.
right?
I'm saying
Like,
yes.
so when Marvel
Listen,
comes
the
to
moment
you
they
and they're
say-
like, hey,
The moment
here
they say
is
J.K.
your, you
Rowling
can
is
have
making
your
the next
pick.
Harry, done. Deal's
Exactly.
done. I won't
Right?
even let him finish.
So
She
so
didn't have
this
to finish saying
notion
Harry
this
Potter, just
notion
Harry,
that people
done.
like Baron have is it's funny because I'm like, why do we always
It's
pretend
not
to
a
be
notion,
stupid? Let me
it's
finish.
fact.
Please.
It's,
Why do we
Lord
pretend
have
to be
mercy.
stupider than the people like at
Oh my
Microsoft are
god.
in order to make them look smart?
Jesus
Because
Christ.
if a person comes to you and says, here is again, they didn't say Spider-Man specifically, so let's just paint an accurate picture. They were like, here is Marvel. Take
Yeah.
your pick of Marvel
Yep.
at the height of its popularity. Go ahead. And then Microsoft, Phil Spencer turns around and says, No. It doesn't matter where you are at. If you are a publishing house and you haven't published a single book, you don't have a single printing press, you have no partnership established, but J.K. Rowling is like, hey, I'm interested in you publishing my next book. You say yes. You don't even know how you're going to make it happen. You say yes on the day and you figure that shit out in the next coming years. While she's writing, you're going to do everything you need to do day in, day out. But the point is, you have J.K. Rowling. Okay? If George R.R. Martin is like, hey, yeah, I'm going to start my next saga, are you going to be interested in making the game for it? Do you know what you say? Just out of an abundance of caution, you say yes. And then you figure it out later. It doesn't matter what state your company is in. But the thing is, this will be one thing to say no if you were just you and I, regular Joe, and you're like, dude, I have $100 in my bank account. Sure. But when you are the world's richest company and you have access to those resources, maybe say yes to Marvel games. Maybe say yes. Maybe say I'll take all of them. Just let me figure it out. I'll figure it out later, but I'll buy the right to every single one. Like, if I was Phil that day, I would be like, I'm taking Spider-Man, I'm taking X-Men, I'm taking Wolverine, I'm taking the next one that you haven't even created yet. I want right of refusal. And you know what's funny? Because that's what Sony like literally stipulates in their contracts that like, hey, we want to be the first person to have the right to say no. If Phil Spencer had been, if I had been Phil Spencer on that day, I would have been like, not only do I say yes to everything you have right now, but I want right of refusal to everything you have in the future. Like, I'll pay for that now. I give you $1 billion now just to be able to say yes or no later. And also then I'll give you billions of dollars to be able to literally lock down every single comic that you have right now.
Okay.
Isn't that a smart thing to do? Because I will have the money.
No, no, it wouldn't.
You know what?
Wouldn't.
Don't even explain it, because as soon as I know that as soon as I ask you
I
to
really don't need to
explain it,
explain it.
Going
Because
after
the thing
Marvel,
is,
the small moves. Oh my god, bro!
no,
Like
it's all about what's going to translate. What they perceive is going to translate well into the gaming space. If that's the
And then-
case, all Marvel franchises will have video games right now. Obviously,
so-
Sony's seeing something in Spider-Man, and it also helps that they also have something to do with the movies. They seen something in Spider-Man, they took Spider-Man.
And they also got
Sony,
X-Men.
everybody said no to a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. Nintendo said yes to it. Why? Why was that the case? Why was Nintendo the ones that actually had to make the next Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Obviously the franchise was doing good cinematically, but obviously a lot of people in the gaming space didn't think they could make money on every Marvel franchise. So I do give Sony credit for actually taking a chance on Spider-Man, where their games from the past were not doing as crazy as they're doing now.
But just hold on,
So
hold
it's
on.
just-
Just quickly, just hold on.
It's-
It wasn't
it is what it
Spider-Man
is.
that was offered. No,
Name
that
me a
wasn't. It wasn't
game.
Spider-Man that was offered. It was Marvel
Well,
games.
besides that,
Again, so you can say whatever you want about how they say
they
no on
showed
Spider-Man, but they
Spider-Man,
could have chosen
they
whomever
could have
they
shown something.
wanted.
Yeah, they could have.
So the point is,
it's
it's worse than what you're saying. Because even if you're like, okay, they didn't believe in Spider-Man, they could have at least said yes to something. Because again, this was Marvel at the top of their popularity.
I got you, but Sony and Microsoft also said no to a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. Why
Okay,
was that?
but do you
Why?
equate that to be the same as
that
all
doesn't
of
make
Marvel?
any sense to me.
Do you? Yeah, it
So
doesn't
it's
make any
like,
sense to you.
why?
But do you equate that to be the same thing?
It's
As all
Marvel.
of
What do you
Marvel.
mean? It's still Marvel at the end of the day. So I'm confused on what do you mean by that?
No, what I mean is that
Sony
you are
decided
saying
to say no
you're
to
saying
a
that
Marvel
Ultimate Alliance
game,
or
but said
whatever
yes to a Spider-Man
is
game.
the same opportunity
obviously had a
as
plan.
anything I want from the Marvel roster.
If they didn't see any value in it at that point,
This
they
is
didn't see any
like a
value in it at that
person
point.
saying that, hey, listen, you winning a Toyota is the same thing as you winning the opportunity to choose any car you want from Rolls-Royce.
But you still overlooking the fact that they both denied a Marvel IP that was already in the gaming space. They already both did it.
Yeah, but
So what's the-
oh
what's-
my god,
what's
you
the
know
argument?
what? I'm just not gonna engage in conversation. Go ahead.
Let me check because I think Nintendo went after Ultimate.
No,
I don't think it
Nintendo
was-
did go after because
but I
nobody
don't
else
think-
wanted to do it.
No, but
Because
I don't.
Reggie spoke on it when it first was coming out on Switch. He was like, "We're going to go back and get other things." Marvel had a plethora of IPs that they are willing to give out to license, which means it backs up your story about the Spider-Man thing. They was willing to make shit. Nobody really wanted to make anything. I will hope more people will make more Marvel content. I think is stuff to be made there. We got Wolverine coming, but there's a reason why a lot of people didn't. We don't know the reason why they were skipping out on this shit. We don't know. We could just make assumptions. But the fact of the matter is, Sony and Microsoft didn't pick up Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but Sony ended up picking up Spider-Man. They obviously had a vision and a plan. So I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But we're not going to act like.
Where did that plan take them? Did it take them to something that is as popular as Insomniac? Marvel Spider-Man?
It paid off in the end. Yeah, it did.
Wait, where did it pay off?
What do you mean, why did it pay off? They invested
No,
in it.
where did it pay off? You said they had a vision and a plan. What I'm saying is, where is that plan and how has it paid off?
What? Spider-Man is doing absolutely great now, selling great.
No, that's
movies are doing
Sony.
great.
I'm talking about Xbox. I thought you were talking
What do you
about
mean
Xbox.
Xbox? What the fuck you mean Xbox? What are you talking about?
So you say that Sony had a vision and a plan. Is that it?
If you're listening, that's what I said.
All right. No problem. No problem. But
yeah,
would you then agree that Microsoft doesn't have a vision when it comes to
No,
gaming?
I'm not going to agree on that because
What do you think the
there's
vision
still
is?
opportunity to use Marvel IPs, and nobody budged. And the only two people that budged was Sony with Spider-Man and Nintendo with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's
Sony
it.
also
So,
Sony also took X-Men.
so
I mean,
and
not X-Men,
Sony got the Wolverine game, right? So there's a Wolverine game coming out now. So
Yeah.
now with the success of Spider-Man, they're saying, "Oh, let's try another one." This is not. I mean, it just makes sense to me. If
But here's the
they
thing.
feel like there's no profit margin, they're not going to take the
No,
risk.
but here's the
So
thing. Here's
just
the
that
thing.
is.
But here's the thing. But the stuff they did thought they're gonna do failed. And that's ultimately my point.
Okay,
They
you
always
have a
back.
point.
They're always backing the wrong horse, and that's why I
That
say I don't think they know what a good game is. Because the shit they think is not good, this doesn't look whatever. But the shit they think, oh yeah, this looks good to us, that shit fell. Except for the obvious, which is like
But
Elder Scrolls and Call of Duty. Well, that's
listen,
fucking obvious.
I would give you 80% of that, because the ones you're talking about, like Grounded and all the other shit, that's them really doing what I don't think they should be doing, where it's basically giving a lot of freedom to the developers to do whatever the fuck they want. I think you should have some type of guidelines and some type of boundaries, but when you don't give developers boundaries, and everybody says this about, let developers have creative freedom, da 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 da. Microsoft has done that, and the results hasn't been so great. Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Redfall, we're starting to create a pattern here. So
what makes you think that wasn't
that's kinda the
Microsoft's
downfall.
intent? Like, why do people believe when they're like, wait, Microsoft is the one that gave them developer freedom?
Well,
I think that came from Phil Spencer. I think those were his ideas and his mandates.
I think when a developer does a mass preview of a game and says we was given the creative freedom to do what we want in our vision,
Mhm.
I don't. Why would they get on there and just blatantly lie about that? There's no point in lying about
Because they
that.
work for that company. Duh.
Oh Lord. So now developers are lining up on behalf of Microsoft. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
They did do that. Remember how Halo Infinite was coming, and then they said that they were going to have split screen? Wasn't that developers lying on behalf of Microsoft?
It's ridiculous.
No, hold on. Remember how that woman, who was that woman? Was Bunny or whatever? The one that ran 343 Industries. Remember how she came out before Halo Infinite? She was like, we will never ship with that split screen co-op again. Wasn't that her, a developer, lying for Microsoft? Like, why are you acting like this is brand new information?
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's not brand new information. I'm
just saying that. So you agree
point,
that Microsoft developers have lied on behalf of that company before?
Developers have lied on a lot of companies before.
Why do you always come up with this whole like developers have done it for a lot of companies? Stop with the what about this, and we're talking about Microsoft.
It's not
just
a what
stick
about.
to the people we're talking about.
I'm sticking to it, but you're trying to make it.
But just say yes. Just say yes. They have lied for Microsoft.
No.
I'm not saying it's exclusive to Microsoft. I'm saying it's a thing that has happened at Microsoft.
Well, yeah, it has happened. Yeah.
Okay, so say yes. Yeah. That's it. You don't have to qualify it with so has it for other people.
The opposite has also happened. It's not exclusive. People have gotten creative freedom on do what the fuck they want as a developer at Microsoft. And I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like it.
Quick suggestion to you.
I really
Phil's
don't like
leadership and his lack of vision has steered those developers into creating games they were not well suited for. Like, what did they do to Rare? Do you think that was creative freedom?
Rare is. I'm glad you brought up Rare, because Rare is a great example. Rare is a great example of what I'm talking about. The talent from Rare was already leaving the company. That's why Nintendo sold the company. Microsoft seen a catalog that was great, say, we're going to buy this company. We think they still got it. They still don't got it, but they let Rare do what the fuck they wanted to do.
So that's you think that Rare wanted to make all of those me games? Do you think that's what they wanted to do, the Kinect games?
The what?
The Kinect games and everything. You think that's what Rare wanted to do?
Sea of Thieves, they have said that's the game they wanted to do. And
but the Kinect game, I just address me one step at a time. So the Kinect games, was that their creative?
That's not a once upon a time. They held that as their biggest project, and that's the best they can fucking do.
Okay, so again, the Kinect games, was that creative freedom? Yes or no?
Probably the game, yeah. Microsoft probably wanted them to do something for Kinect. Obviously, it's their hardware. They probably wanted them to do something for Kinect. But probably the game wise, that they probably had creative freedom to do what they want with it.
So you put that as a yes.
The point I'm getting to is creative freedom needs to have some type of boundaries when it comes to developers, because we can't let them do whatever the fuck they want. We just end up with shit that just ain't that great. So that's what I could just
admit the truth in that this is Phil Spencer's MO. This is what he wanted them to do, and he forced them to do that. And therefore,
why?
What do you mean?
Why
Because it's the
would you
truth?
think that you forced them to do that?
Because that's what he does
Oh
as the
my
head of
god.
Microsoft.
Okay. All right.
Like you think? Okay, so hold on.
You can have it. I don't even want to
You
argue
think
that.
that when
I
the
don't want to
people
argue that.
who is it
You
that
can
makes
have it.
Gears of War?
You
How they
got
had
it.
another project and then Microsoft shut it down in order to
You
make Gears of
can
War
have
6? Is that creative
you can
freedom?
have it. You can have it, bro.
Is that creative
I
freedom?
don't want to argue that.
No? It's
Because
okay. You can't argue with me
no.
because the thing is, you're
thing
not
is,
even interested in following a
you
conversation.
want to take whoever quotes you want to take and make them facts, even though developers have said they have creative freedom. You want to ignore those and say they're lying.
Yes, I will ignore them. Do you know why? Because a lot of developers from Microsoft lie.
You can't pick and choose.
They are liars.
You can't pick and choose.
Remember, no,
You have to
I'm not
keep it
picking and
consistent across the
choosing. I'm
board.
telling you they're lying.
have to.
See, the thing with me
So
is that I
that's the
don't switch
thing.
up my position depending on the conversation. I'm telling
I
you,
don't
point
either.
blank, developers from
I agree
Microsoft
with
lie.
you. I said that has happened.
Lie.
I agree.
They are
So,
liars. LIARS. All of the pens on fire. It's a security risk. That's what I'm
Okay.
telling you. So therefore, I
And
don't
it
believe
doesn't
them when
change
they
the
say that
fact
they have
that-
creative freedom at Microsoft.
it-
Because
it
if they
doesn't
did,
change the fact
they
that
wouldn't be
creative
making the
freedom
games they are
is real
making.
there. So,
Okay, what about Redfall? Redfall is literally this year. Those developers literally wanted to stop working on the game, but Microsoft forced them to release it anyway. Is that creative freedom?
they came up with that project themselves. So that is
They wanted
disgusting.
it canceled. They wanted it canceled. They were hoping.
They literally did not want to release this dog shit.
But listen,
And you're here saying that Microsoft gives them creative freedom, and I'm telling you, they are lying when they say that.
And I'm telling you they're not, because they said that was their project and this is what they wanted to do, and it turned out to be shit.
No,
No, they wanted it to stop. They literally were like, please, sir, let us make anything else. We'll make Kinect games again, please.
Listen, at the end of the day, that was their project, that was their vision, and it turned out to be fucking trash.
Let's get Redfall
So,
straight. Redfall,
that's just that.
Arcane was being forced to make that game by Bethesda. Bethesda was forcing them to make that game. When the acquisition happened, the developers were assuming that when Microsoft buys Bethesda, they can finally advocate saying this game is trash. We need to cancel it. That didn't happen. Microsoft said no.
Okay, where did you find this information that game was being forced on them by Bethesda?
Oh, that shit was all over here. Let me push it out.
Yeah, because I remember a developer saying, "This is the vision we wanted to create for a while."
No.
I like the way these guys are. I remember the PR line. I remember the PR line. I trust the PR line.
I don't think it was a PR line. That was actually one of the developers.
You're funny, man. You're funny. So, anyways, P-Rock, why you find the information? Let's just get something straight. If P-Rock proves to you in front of your face that they didn't want to go on with this game, are you now going to accept that Microsoft does not give creative freedom?
No, how does that not give them creative freedom? If they came up with that concept for that game and they made it and they came out later on and said, "Oh, this shit is dog shit, we don't want to release it," you still have freedom to do what the fuck you wanted to do outside of your norm.
So you think that if they didn't want to release it, they release it out of kindness, out of the goodness of their hearts?
Listen.
Okay, hold on. If they didn't want to release it, why did they release it? Tell me.
That part, I don't fucking know.
You don't know now. Now you don't know. You can't understand what goes on in the corporate world that will make a person do something they don't want to do. Suddenly, you don't know.
I don't know why they wanted to release that.
That's fascinating, my friend.
And I think it all had to do with them already announcing that game, them boosting that game.
No, they hadn't actually. They hadn't announced the game. No, they literally had not announced the game. Nobody knew. So go ahead. Find another excuse.
They talked about that game way too.
No, they hadn't. They hadn't. Go ahead. Find the next thing.
No, that's not the next thing.
No. Literally, they hadn't announced it because Phil Spencer is the one that announced it. So stop lying. Because we were there.
Okay. What are you saying right now?
I'm saying you are a liar. That's what I'm saying.
What are you
and you have no
saying?
facts. And you try to argue your way around things and just say enough words that people forget what you just said. But I'm not going to let you slide. They literally had not announced it. It was Phil Spencer himself who announced it as the one more thing of the show. That was him.
Okay, what is your point?
So it wasn't announced. I'm getting at the fact that, again, like I've been telling you, developers lie for Microsoft.
Okay, what is your point about Phil Spencer announcing the game? What does that have to do with anything?
That had to do with the entire conversation. Because you said that they have creative freedom, and I'm telling you, they don't have creative freedom. And then you said developers have said they have creative freedom, and I told you, no, let me finish the train of thought. And I told you those developers are lying. And then you were like, how come you know that those developers are lying? And I showed you examples, whether it was with Bonnie Ross or whether it's with Redfall, where those developers were clearly lying for the company. Ergo, you cannot say that Microsoft gives them creative freedom because their developers have said so. Because if they had creative freedom, they will be coming up with better projects than the ones that we've seen release.
Okay, here's a news flash for you, buddy. I
like the buddy.
Just because you got fucking creative freedom doesn't mean you're going to create fucking gold.
So I sent you the
whole. You're guaranteed to make gold. So I don't know where that comes from.
I sent you the whole thread.
So it's like, what do you mean, bro?
On Twitter.
Hold on. Yo, Byron, go educate yourself. Go educate yourself so you remember what actually happened in real world.
So I sent you like the whole thread on Twitter.
Did you send it to me?
It's on Twitter in your message. But it talks
Go ahead. Just take a moment.
70%. It got so bad that 70% of the developers left the project. They didn't want to do it. It was a bad project. So you'll see the whole shebang on what happened with Arcane and Redfall.
Yo, Pio, he'll tell you the other 30% got the creative freedom to continue.
Hey, let me hit up this super chat. Stuart Stokes. He said, this is Stuart Stokes, this is for you, Baron. He said, on Zair's channel, Baron used to try to give PS an L, saying that The Last of Us 2 was a PS5 title and Sony was just using it to sell PS4. Ask him if he has the same energy with Metroid Prime 4 on Switch 2.
Yeah, I do. I do have the same energy.
You think it's a Switch 2 game?
This is the most hilarious part about.
You think Metroid Prime 4 is a Switch 2 game?
I think it's going to be a cross-gen game because they still have it on their release schedule.
Oh, so you're not going to Switch 2 then, right? You're not going to Switch 2 then, right?
I don't want it to be on the Switch. I want it to be exclusively for the next Switch, so they can do what they need to do.
If it's a cross-gen game, then there's no reason to get a Switch 2 then. If they're doing cross-gen game.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to be on the game available for the Switch 2.
So long as there's other games that are not cross-gen, then it's okay.
It's about the software lineup when you buy the system. Yes, it's always about that.
But if the games are cross-gen, let's say if the games are cross-gen, Nintendo goes to
if one game is cross-gen, no, it's not going to be the end of the world.
But what if it's
so? What do you mean?
What if Nintendo for the first 2 years of Switch 2 is both on Switch and Switch 2?
Bro, that's not going to happen.
But if it is,
there's no if. Bro, there's no if because they already released a lot of their franchise already on Switch, so there's no if.
I'm just saying. There's no if. What if they keep making the games on Switch?
Bro, the only possibility is Metroid Prime 4. That's highly likely. There is no other if.
So they're gonna completely abandon Switch audience like that.
I'm not saying they're gonna completely abandon Switch audience. I think the next Switch is gonna be backwards capable, so that's where they're gonna try to get everybody to transfer over to. But as far as like multiple games cross-gen, that's not going to be a thing. If you already, just look at their last launch lineups for their systems. You can already tell what's going to happen. There's nothing to discuss there.
Them shit just
like y'all just really try to make up stuff that just doesn't make any sense.
Listen, Baron.
The last two. Listen, bro.
If the first year Switch 2, if the first year of Switch 2 cross-gen games. And you get that motherfucker, you're gonna get toasted. I'm gonna roast you daily. Daily.
Listen, this is what
video of you every single day until Nintendo creates an actual exclusive for Switch. Go ahead and get that Switch 2 with cross-gen games. I dare you.
Listen. This is why y'all need to know more shit about this.
I'm watching you.
Excuse me, not the
I'm
last
pocket
three.
watching
I'm
you.
gonna say this
I'm
differently. The last three console launches for Nintendo, there was at least one game that was cross-platform. At
telling
least
you.
one. I
I'm
think
telling
that's
you.
going to happen again. So
I'm t-
I don't know why.
but
I don't
what
know
if? But
why
what if?
people.
But what if it's a
That's
whole year of
it.
cross gen? What if it's a whole
It's,
year of cross gen? You getting it the
bro,
first year?
my guy, it's impossible, bro.
It's a simple question.
It's
A simple question.
impossible.
I'm watching you.
If you
I'm
look
watching how
at,
you.
listen,
I'm gonna watch how you
I don't
move.
understand
You
why
know,
when it
I'm gonna
comes.
watch how you move.
Okay, listen. Why when it comes to people track record and history, y'all don't take that into consideration?
A lot of things
There's
change.
never been a Nintendo system that done that.
Listen.
There has
Hold
been
on.
at least one game that has been cross-gen.
Listen.
So
Before
I think
PS5,
Metro Prime 4 is going to be that
listen.
game.
Before PS5, we didn't have 2 years of cross gen on PlayStation. So you can't say
So,
like I understand there's historical context. Believe me, I understand that. But
mhm.
that doesn't always apply to everything.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Things
Who
can
always
change.
Here's the thing. Answer this question.
Nintendo can easily make a
Mhm.
game that you could play on the Switch,
Okay.
which has over 100 million gamers, and then you play the
Mhm.
better version on the Switch too, because Nintendo's really not gonna care about the few fanboys that say, "Well, there's no reason for me to get a Switch 2
Mhm.
because it's cross-gen." They're
Listen,
not gonna care about that.
Port
They're not gonna
Rock,
care about that. That is not
if
their
that
mindset.
if that was the case, they would have did that with the Wii U. They didn't. But
No, with the Wii.
newsflash, they
Wait,
didn't.
stop.
But listen, but here's the thing.
Stop. Wait. You bought a Wii U. Did the Wii U sell 100 million?
Oh man, no, it did not.
There
It
you
did
go.
not. But the thing is,
That's what I'm saying.
that had to do with a whole different circumstances, bro.
Totally whole different.
Out of any,
You cannot listen. You don't have the same scenario. This is a new scenario. You got to switch,
bro.
You
It
got a
is. But
Switch
the
that
thing,
sold a lot, and and most likely the Switch 2 is not going to be all that different. It's probably going to be a more powerful Switch. So it's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of cross-gen the first year until they build up that Switch 2
I'm gonna tell you this
library.
right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If it's any company in gaming that is not going to disrupt their development cycle, it's going to be Nintendo. It's been like that for decades.
Didn't you have another super chat?
So it's. But what do you mean? Like I'm saying, you're saying there's going to be a lot of cross-gen. It's not. It's just not how they operate.
Why not?
They release so many franchises on Switch. It's not a thing. It's just not going to happen. It didn't happen for the last 3 generations. It ain't going to happen now.
But listen, it didn't happen until PS5 gen. It didn't happen before on PlayStation either.
Well, that's how Sony operates. We know Nintendo operates in their own way.
They didn't operate like that at all. They didn't operate like that at all. They didn't do that either. They didn't operate that way either.
So they didn't release games on the PS4 before?
No, they didn't have two. No, what I'm saying is they didn't go through 2 years of cross-gen. No, what I'm telling you, you're saying because
I understand that. I understand that. But they did release games that were previously on the PlayStations on the PS4. They was already in that boat. So it's not that big of a stretch that happened. So, but I'm just saying it's not going to happen on Switch 2. It's just not.
You're just scared. It's gonna have to backtrack on your bullshit.
I'm actually not scared.
You are going to backtrack because you said there's no reason to get. I'm gonna tell
you this right now.
You're gonna get.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm either gonna be playing a new Mario Kart or a new core Mario game when Switch 2 comes out, along with Metroid Prime 4.
And it's gonna be
that's what's gonna happen. It's just what it is.
And it's gonna be on Switch.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be on Switch. It's gonna be on Switch too, dog. You're gonna be hurt, dog.
They understand. They trying to like. You
better get down on some cross-gen, bro. My man Blue Jay, he said this dude says Starfield is trash without playing it. Oh, he's talking about Extreme.
Of course.
He's talking about you.
Yeah, we all know Extreme hates Starfield. Let's not get him back on that, please. It's a dead
No. Hold on. I'll just address the super chat because if a person sends money, we respect that around here. Listen, I'm just gonna get real close to the mic, so please forgive me. Starfield is garbage. There are so many reasons why it's garbage. We don't have the time to get into it. But if you play Starfield, you are playing in garbage. And as a person that comes from Africa, blessed continent. But that has literally simply games like kids play in garbage and have fun doing it. I can understand how you guys can have fun in the garbage trashness that Starfield is. So go ahead and enjoy garbage if you choose to. All right, we can get back to the conversation.
Yeah, just to make it clear, because people just hear what they want to hear. I fully expect a Switch game to be cross-gen with the next-gen Switch. I think it's going to be Metroid Prime 4 because Nintendo still has it on the release schedule for Switch. I'm not saying no game is going to do that. I'm just saying when the system launch, there's going to be exclusive games to the next generation Switch, and it's going to be a cross-gen game. My pick is Metroid Prime 4. It happened the last three console generations with Nintendo.
And there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because a lot of the franchises are due for new installments, and we kind of already figured that
you're gonna be Team Cross Gen, bro. It's inevitable.
Listen, don't get mad at me for Sony left y'all hanging for 2 years. Don't get mad. Don't be wishing that shit on me. Like, just let it go, bro.
Just accept it, bro. You're gonna get that cross gen life. Just accept that, bro. It's inevitable.
It's not gonna happen.
It's just the sooner you accept it, the easier it's gonna be.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be easy riding.
You just want it to happen so you can feel better about your damn PS5 purchase.
I played native PS5 games. In fact, one of my favorite games is a native PS5 game, which is Returnal. Probably one of the best games this generation.
Oh Lord!
One of these games this year. The game's amazing.
Returnal. Hold on.
It's harder than the bullshit you played. Animal Farm and all that bullshit.
I don't play Animal Crossing.
Man, stop lying.
Listen, I'm gonna make this very clear. I hate Kirby. I hate Animal Crossing. I don't fuck with Pokemon no more. It is what it is. Until Pokemon starts looking like Monster Hunter, maybe I'll play it again. But I'm done with that. So that's it. Don't ask me anything about those three because I don't give a fuck. I really don't. So,
man, tell you, man, we could be here for hours with these leagues. I'm gonna leave it alone. I got homework to do. So, hey, I'm gonna cut this podcast short. Hey, for people confused, because I know some people jumped in saying that the show's early. No, it's not really early. I wasn't supposed to have a podcast today. Because as you can see in the background, I'm in a hotel. I'm on the road. I didn't think hotel Wi-Fi would actually be this good, or at least decent enough to do this. My mic is shit. Sorry about that. My bad. This is like a work mic, whatever. That's the only thing I had. But anyway, I had to try. I had to see this bullshit that Microsoft is going through. We had live because the video would have been like a 2-hour video. I would have done this live. So it's clear Microsoft don't know what the hell they're doing. All they could do is buy.
Why you? Man, stop that bullshit. Stop that bullshit, Porter.
You're done. Right? All they can do is see they can't do shit. They're garbage. All they could do is spend using their credit card. They have no talent to create games and stuff like that. They try to buy Nintendo. They want to buy Nintendo. They want to buy everybody because Sony whooped their ass. Sony's been kicking their ass. And listen, we heard Phil Spencer say it. Phil Spencer said it, right? Hey, he said it himself. You can't out-console Sony, so they have to do a new strategy. Now we know what he's talking about. My man said we had to come up with a new strategy. And now we know what that strategy is. That strategy is just buy everything. Just buy third party. Just keep buying. Just buy. And if they could get Nintendo, if they could get those big first party IPs, Zelda, Super Mario, he won it all. Because they have no creativity. They ain't got the skill. They left. They didn't want Spider-Man, but they want Crackdown. You know what I'm saying? What kind of bullshit is that? It is what it is, man. Listen, that brand's not gonna go far. And now that the world knows their plan, now that they got exposed, it's going to be a lot harder for them to buy shit. Because now people can see you truly are trying to monopolize the industry. You truly are trying to grab all this stuff. That whole bullshit about, Nintendo can Call of Duty? Nah, son, you want to buy Nintendo, so Giving them Call of Duty doesn't mean nothing anyway, because they'll just fall on the Xbox anyway. Man, we see the game. It is what it is. Now, all these Xbox dudes, y'all can shill all you want. Y'all can feel sorry about all the got leaked. The gaming community, Microsoft got exposed. That's it, bro. Whoever worked at Microsoft, he was a pony. He let that shit slide, bro. And who knows? That's supposed to be like 32 terabytes of shit. I don't know. Some ridiculous amount of information. So this shit's gonna go on all week. This shit might go on all month. Because people are just gonna keep reading, and posting. So who knows how much bullshit we're about to see. Microsoft got exposed, dog. Built the good guy. Nah, son. It is what it is. Microsoft's a piece of shit company. They always been. Microsoft's always been a piece of shit company. It is what it is. It's been exposed. I don't know what to tell ya. This is your boy Puerto77. 60 frames, no lag. You guys have a great week. See y'all next week, next Tuesday. Peace.